wanted to get a quick primer on how the dice mechanics in this game work, because that's important. So let me do a few sample rolls.
I'm back.
Perfect. We're just starting now. So I'm just going to give a little intro to the dice mechanics for people who weren't here the first time we ran this. Shout out to Under and Hayes for setting up the bot so that we can do this. The prefix that the bot uses is $, so you want to do $R. Now, if you all look at your character sheets, you'll notice next to each of your skills you have a little combination of green triangles and yellow pentagons. And those represent the dice that you roll when you make an ability check with that ability. And when you do that, those dice get added to a pool, which is the total roll. And the other half of that pool is made up of purple dice called difficulty dice, which represent the difficulty of the check. And there can be anywhere from 0 to 5 of those. So let's use an example. Devati, pick one skill to roll.
Leadership.
Leadership, alright. What's your roll for that?
2 yellow, 3 green.
2 yellow, 3 green. And we'll make it difficulty 3. Yeah, actually, you know how to do it. Go ahead. Yep. So the bot's a little slow, unfortunately. There we go. Okay, and as you can see, he succeeded, and you can tell he succeeded because that little explosion symbol represents 1 success. As long as there's a net of 1 success, then you succeed. He also generated a whopping 7 advantages. Advantages are things that you can spend on your rolls to cause like additional beneficial things to happen. So like if you're in combat, you could use that to activate the effects of your weapons. You could use it to give your allies a boost die on their attack. You could like knock your opponent on their ass, all kinds of stuff. Now on the purple dice, you'll see that there's 1 failure and then there's 1 threat, which is that little hexagon symbol. And threats are like the opposite of advantages. They can cause bad things to happen to you, or rather, I can use them to cause bad things to happen to you. Of course, when enemies try to attack you and they generate threats, you can use them to cause bad things to happen to your enemies, if that makes sense. That's pretty much all there is to the dice. The only other thing is boost and setback, which is how this game does advantage and disadvantage. Boost dice are represented by B for boost, and setback are represented by K for setback, I guess. And unlike in D&D, you can have both at once. It's not like either or. They don't cancel out. And they stack as well. So if whatever roll this was, Devati could have had like 2 boost dice on it because they had 2 different factors in their favor, but they could also have something working against them, and that would be a setback. Yeah, perfect. And you can see they didn't generate as many advantages as they did. In fact, it's kind of a weird roll because they rolled all blanks on the additional dice, but yeah, so that can happen too. But generally, boost dice will help you and setbacks will hurt you. That's all you need to know. Alright, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can get into the actual game. And this will, of course, start like any good Star Wars thing does, with a little text scroll that I've typed up.
Awesome.
It is not a GIF, unfortunately. Here's your little campaign intro. Yeah. So 1 year has passed since the Battle of Endor. The death of Emperor Palpatine has left the Empire fractured, as Imperial admirals and moffs, now styling themselves warlords, vie for control of naval assets, while the newly reformed Galactic Republic seizes more and more systems across the Outer Rim. Your group comprised the crew of the Broadback, a Sea Rock Gozanti-class light cruiser under the command of the Zabrak, Captain Dakota. The Broadback is a trading vessel bound from the Galactic Core on a voyage to Nar Shaddaa. By now you know both each other and the captain well. Dakota's an honest man, but not above shady dealings. Some of you may just be simple men or women trying to make your way in the universe, while others could be fleeing pursuit by criminals or the Empire. At the present moment, your ship has just come out of hyperspace in the Delang system, a minor trade hub at the edge of Hut space. So yeah, there's sort of the soft whoosh of the ship coming out of hyperspace. You're all going about whatever different tasks it is you do on the ship as you see this planet far underneath you. In fact, why don't we take a second to introduce ourselves here?
Well, hi everyone, I'm Devati.
Hi, Devati.
Hello, Devati.
Oh, the cup.
And I guess I'm like the ship's effective, like, XO, being the political guy. Captain sends me down to, like, negotiate terms and shit like that while he stays on the ship and, doesn't get shot at.
Yeah, why don't you all describe sort of what your role in the crew would be?
So I'm Aiden. I'm good at stealth, survival, and basically like anything with agility. And I'm really good with ranged heavy weapons.
Well, some of you might just be there to like move heavy shit if you don't have any, like anything in particular.
I'm definitely not there to move heavy shit.
Yes, some of you definitely are not there to do that.
I am definitely not there to do heavy shit.
Yeah,
I am the...
Leona, Clan Ordo, I shoot things. I fly ships.
I think at the moment, just providing security.
Yeah, ground team.
Doesn't really
Indeed.
do security.
I'm currently reading. Give me a second.
Branks Gordo is just a simple Mandalorian trying to make his way in the universe.
I'm sorry, did you say Brinks Gordo?
Branks Ordo.
Oh, I thought you said Brinks Gordo, and I just imagined a big fat Mandalorian.
I'm not the only one.
No, Branks Ordo. Sorry, I'm using a cup to simulate wearing a bucket on my head.
Nice.
I will
Oh, you're
do this as much as possible.
He's more gorge
Oh,
than
yeah.
man.
Yeah, Branks Gordo is that classic Mandalorian archetype. Imposing armor, almost never takes the helmet off, and spends most of the time he's not actually doing a job looming in a corner of a room.
I would like to loom in the opposite corner.
Yeah, what do you, what's,
Tix
Zasha's
or...
deal?
Yeah, Zasha would be, but she's not going to go by Zasha. At least not here. It'd be
Is she gonna
Tix.
go by Tix?
Anya, I'm your pilot.
Yep.
Really? You called her Anya?
Well,
There's more to
I
the
don't
name,
know
I
her
think.
real name, but
She's on your ship.
I'm,
She's on your ship. I love it.
I'm your pilot.
Nice.
Wait, does that mean that if you're flying too close to another ship, she's on your ass?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You got a bogey on your tail.
Anya. I'm Anya. But no, I mean, if you want to know the full name, I can say it. But in character, she's just going to say, like, I'm Anya, your pilot.
Alright. And what do, I think that just leaves the two Chiss. What do they do?
I am the ship's doctor. And I don't have many conversations with people outside of probably trying to speak to the other Chiss or the Twi'lek, because he's a diplomat. He's a bureaucrat.
So
Probably.
he's racist.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I'm not saying he is racist. He's just an upper crust.
He's
Yeah,
classist.
Yeah, he's classist.
That's probably something I should also mention. Leona is wearing armored clothing to cover most of the obvious bits, but they are fairly obviously the Sithari bird people.
Yeah, whatever helmet she would be wearing is very clearly not human head shaped.
So he's wearing like one of those like Horus helmets from SG-1.
Yeah, something like that. If you look in the handbook for the Sithari, they're like big bird of paradise people.
How would you describe heavy clothing? Like, would heavy clothing be like my picture's wearing?
Let me scroll up here.
That is not heavy clothing.
That is not heavy clothing.
Even
Heavy-
with the cape?
Maybe with the jacket it could be heavy clothing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll say it's fine.
Okay.
Bite me.
Alright, and what is Tix's deal?
So,
She shoots people for money generally, but right now, I think she's got a cushy gig watching this politician's back and just standing there menacingly, and she's pretty happy with that.
why
Very
are you
nice.
blue?
Alright, well now that we're all introduced, the captain of the ship, Captain Dakota, who you all know, is going to say, Alright, Anya, bring us into port. I gotta go check on something in the hold. And then he leaves all of you on the bridge.
Alright, what do I roll? So I can land safely.
You don't have to roll anything. You can just that's trivial. You're good enough at piloting. You don't need to roll that.
Oh, really? Alright.
Yeah.
Anya gets in the seat as the captain orders. Captain orders and puts the ship in dock.
All right. Well, you're coming in from safe jump distance, which takes about an hour to get into low orbit, and then like another hour to get down to the surface. So you've got some time.
Oh, well then she's just gonna lean back in the seat and fall asleep.
Sure. Well, maybe don't fall asleep at the wheel.
Oh, but I want to.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
No, I won't. I'll do
God,
one
the
of
ship is crashing.
okay. I'll do those like lean back things where like your eyes is like halfway closed, but like they're still open enough where you can like see shadows of what's moving around.
You're paying it.
So roll to end the campaign right here.
All right. Yeah. So the pilot begins bringing the ship into low orbit, and then proceeds to fall asleep at the helm.
I'll pull a fire alarm like 5 minutes before we're landing.
Now, I need to know exactly how much are you falling asleep on you?
Oh, I wouldn't say at all. I would just say resting my eyes. So
Just
I would
resting your
say
eyes.
like falling asleep. So
That's what
like
they all
10%.
That didn't
Like,
work for
at
me in high
one-
school.
Like if you want me to go like 0 to 100, like 10%.
Tell you what, why
Why
don't
are
you
you
make
falling
a
asleep at the wheel anyway?
just as
Because
a
I don't know what else
there you
to do.
go. So just
Why
as a
do you-
Lazy. I'm lazy.
All right. Let the DM speak.
no, it's all right. You guys are the players. You can do your thing.
My character is lazy until we're.
I pull out my carbine and shoot the pilot.
All right.
I'm
So-
joking.
I am lazy until we get into an actual gunfight, or I can actually steal shit.
All right. Well, just as an exercise in rolling the dice, why don't you make for me a difficulty 1 perception check, Anya?
Okay, how do I do that?
So if you look at perception on your sheet, you see the little symbols next to perception, and you roll 1 of each of those dice and then 1 purple die. And if you need an example, you can look at
perception.
under typed up there.
I got a yellow and a green.
Yep. So it would be YGP for 1 yellow, 1 green, 1 purple.
So do I do
Dollar
slash?
sign.
No, you do $R YGP. And then
I did
give it
right.
a second, because, yep, you did it right. Oh, wow. Oh, and that reminds me, we totally forgot to do something that you're supposed to do at the beginning of the session.
Oh, initiative.
No, not initiative. So this game has a special mechanic in it called Destiny Points, which are sort of like a... you can think of it as like an inspiration pool that is shared amongst the party. And the way you determine that at the beginning of the game is that each one of you should roll a force die. So
What's a
what all of
force
you
die?
A force die is what you roll by typing what Under has just helpfully typed in chat. You do $$RW. And then the
Okay,
bot's going
the
to take
poor
a
bot
second.
is gonna.
Oh, that poor thing.
Bot's gonna cry.
Poor bot.
The bot is going to die for like 20 minutes.
So, what do these dice mean?
I will explain as soon as it finishes rolling.
Okay, mine says 1. What does it mean?
We will get there.
Give
What
us
each
your
of you rolled individually does not,
Matter.
yeah, it's only the collective total roll.
Bot's on a fucking spree, goddamn.
Okay, let's see.
Ooh.
Alright, so 2 white, 3 black, 5 black, 4 white, 6 white. Alright.
I got a black. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm black? But I wanted to be white. I don't want to be blue like this bitch.
Wow.
I think I did that right.
Usually.
No, I didn't do it right. Fuck.
You realize there's 2 blue people on this ship, right?
Oh, I thought I didn't see anyone else's character.
We realize that the ship is pointed directly at the planet and is just far enough outside of the gravity well.
See,
As Anya leans forward unconscious against the warp drive.
No, I'm leaning
And
back.
we slam into the surface of the
Well,
planet.
no.
See,
I
here's
pushed the
the funny
button.
thing.
I pushed the button to trigger the
I'm
terrain
leaning-
alarm, even though we're like way up in orbit.
Can I shoot him?
here's
No,
the
that's
funny
too stupid. I
thing.
can't shoot him. Can I throw something at him, like a pen, be like, "Don't touch that"?
I'm probably the
piloting
second
here.
most competent pilot. And I can just jump out as long as we're in atmosphere, and I'll be fine when I land.
Shit, I need a jetpack for that.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot the character you have to type for the black ones. About a second to pull it up.
Take your time. By the way, we're just joking. By the way, we're not in character, are we?
Oh yeah, I know. I play with all of you.
I'm just making sure because I'm dumb.
I'm
Yes, I'm
all
trying to get
about
into character.
shooting the people.
Trying to get. into
Here we
character.
go. Okay, let's see. Where is the? Oh, it's Anne,
Anne.
right? Okay, so this is the Destiny pool. As soon as it finishes loading, we have a lot because we have a lot of players. So the way this works is during gameplay, you can flip a light side Destiny point, which you currently have 6 of, over to trigger effects that benefit you guys, and I can flip over dark side Destiny points to trigger effects that benefit me and harm you.
So we each have 6
Wow.
Destiny points.
Not each; they are shared
They
amongst
are
you.
the groups.
Oh, so 6 of us, we each get a dice.
The party gets 6. How we split
Yeah.
those up is going to depend on how much we actually need an individual roll.
Correct.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
the only thing is that for each roll, you guys can only use 1, and I can only use 1. That's it.
so what do we use the Destiny points for? Like, if it's like we're about to crash, I go into hyperspeed fast. I use a
You-
Destiny die to go into hyperspeed or whatever.
If you're about to
Actually,
crash, hyperspeed is the last thing you want. You're just going to
I don't know,
crash
something like
harder.
that.
Ooh, that's neat.
also, warp drives
lot
don't
harder.
work in gravity wells.
Bitch, I
Yes.
don't know.
So you can use them to trigger various helpful things. Sometimes it can just be something abstract that might help you out of a jam. Other times it can be something very specific, like here.
Can I just lie and say I went to basic
Hang out of a
piloting
trap
school?
or something.
Oh wait, I
Let's see,
have a
where's
question about
the-
my character. Is that okay to ask?
Go on.
If you have 2 ranks in a skill, that probably doesn't mean you have the basic knowledge, I'm guessing.
2? No, that means you're pretty decent. I mean, that's the
Oh,
most you
okay.
can have when you create your character to
No,
start.
no, no, I'm saying like if say like someone asks me like, "Hey Anya, where did you learn your piloting skills?" I just have the basic knowledge, and they'll be like, they see me piloting, and they're like, "You don't have basic knowledge." Like they won't know
I think
that
that's
I'm
more,
lying.
I think that's more
As
of a
far as I
green.
can tell, 2 greens is like moderate competence, and anything more than that is like skilled to a professional.
Pretty much. So to answer your earlier question, CC, the mechanical way that you can use Destiny points is to upgrade or downgrade one side of a skill check. So if you wanted to make a roll and you want to be really good at it, you can spend a Destiny point to upgrade your side of the check once, and I'll explain what that means. But it means you turn you turn one green die into a yellow die.
How do we get more Destiny points?
So you don't get more. The way it works is when you use it, it turns into the opposite one. So if you spend one, it turns into a dark side Destiny point, and then if I spend one, it turns into a light side.
So the way we get more is by Pete using.
Right, so like if we use it by rolling, say, Destiny L, it should flip that. And now there's one more dark.
Thank you for figuring that out, Under. Can I rely on you to track that for me?
Yeah. And then Pete would do this. Destiny D to use a dark side point, which will flip it back to light.
Yeah, so the balance just sort of goes back and forth. Yeah, it's a really neat mechanic. It's like it's like shared inspiration.
So
but anyway, back to the
So
roll
that's why it
CC.
makes it so useful, because if the more we use them, the more you have. Ooh.
I guess to only to keep getting on to try to go back on track. What did we just do with the yellow die?
Okay, so we're gonna go after I just finished explaining that. We're gonna go back up to the roll I had CC made because there was a reason for that. So yeah, with one success and one triumph, which is a crit, by the way. So nice.
Oh, the
first
one
roll,
that I
CC.
did, the 1 star, the YGR, the YGP.
Yes. So on that roll, that little sort of circle with a lightsaber-looking thing in it is a triumph, which is how this game does crits.
Yellow. Okay.
Yep. So with a success and a crit, you are able to notice another ship entering the sensor range of the Broadback.
Can I radio to the captain, or how do I signal people? Do I come in and I can signal people?
There's like a thing on board.
Oh,
PA
a
system.
comm. That's it. Anya pushes the comm and alerts everyone. Not testing. Oh shit, what do I say? Attention those on deck. No, attention everyone on deck. We have a ship in the distance.
Do you have an ID on it? I'm on the bridge with you.
People that are on the ship, we have another ship coming towards us.
And
Near us.
As you say that, Anya, the ship opens fire with its weapons, and it unleashes a volley of laser fire right across your bow, which only goes wide because you were able to react to it in time and sort of bank the ship away from the shots.
Okay, so how do I pilot us out of here?
So the way you would pilot us out of here is that...
Everyone get down! I'd say on the PDA system.
Did she just spill my drink?
Yes.
She may have just spilled your drink.
There's no way she did.
I'm perturbed.
Yeah, so after that initial attack, it's very obvious now that this ship, which has come into a sort of dogfighting range with you guys, is now attacking your ship.
Do we have gunners? Like, where's our captain?
We
Our
do.
captain should be saying someone to go to the guns.
Yep, the captain runs up from the hold. He's like, "Ah, shit, all hands to battle stations! All hands to battle stations!"
I'm awake. I put everything, I'm awake. I'm ready. Let's do this shit.
And now I have stuff to post for you guys. Let me see here.
Okay. Yay! We just got in, and I'm doing good, I think. I hope. Someone say I'm doing good.
You're doing great.
You're doing good. Okay, so these are the ship's weapons. There are 3 of these, and they are separate, so up to 3 of you can use these.
Who here has gunnery as a skill that they're proficient in?
Yep, these are gunnery, because they
Same.
are ship's weapons.
Me's.
One of them can be used by the pilot.
not
Which one?
I'm not
Ring
trained
shots?
in it.
They're all the same.
I'm okay at it, but I'm not skilled in it.
Well,
not
since I had a good
trained.
crit,
But I've got enough agility to be competent.
I can
got
probably
4.
avoid shooting our own ship.
I
Yeah.
am going to the med bay because I have no idea how to do that.
no, you should stay here.
No, he should go to the med bay
I'm going to the med bay
and prepare to receive casualties.
Preparing to receive.
So it sounds like security teams on the guns.
Yeah, well, if Anya can pilot and shoot guns, and she's decent at gunnery, yeah, we need 2
Yes.
security volunteers to go man the other 2 guns. You don't want me on the guns.
Should I do the? So we got 3 lasers, and each one of them does all that. Is that what that
Yes.
means?
So you have 3
Okay, so
heavy
I'll man
lasers.
one, and 2 people man the other. Or one
I'll
each
take
man
one.
the other.
Yeah, one of them can be controlled from the pilot's seat, we'll say, and the other 2 have their own separate stations.
All right, so Tix is on
Who
one
are
gun.
the-
Who's on the other?
I'd say
I
Brex
got-
is a given.
All right. What, Aiden?
I have 4 green.
Oh, even better. You can have my seat.
Alrighty.
All right, so Brenks and Aiden are on the other 2 guns. Anya is on the pilot gun.
Sorry, that was rude.
Are we
Alright.
in atmosphere?
We are not in atmosphere. You are like hours away from. You're like an hour
Yeah.
away from being in atmosphere.
All right,
You
so I
pretty
can't.
much just came out of hyperspace.
So I can't pop a window open and shoot with my gun.
No, you cannot do
No.
that.
However,
Well-
Leona Turk, you
And
should
we also
probably
can't-
arm yourselves and make ready to prepare to defend the ship against boarders if
Wait.
necessary.
Indeed.
Oh shit! I
Wait.
just realized a bummer downside of the jetpack.
Oh,
Pete,
If it's vehicle speed in atmosphere, I could technically just hop out and fly to the enemy ship and punch them.
yeah, which is why it's not vehicle speed; it's personal speed.
It's
Pete,
changed from the
so-
book because it's janky.
Yes.
we just got out of hyperspeed, so that means we can't go back in it.
So the way hyperspace works is you cannot just jump into hyperspace willy-nilly. You have
to load it up.
You have to load it up. You have a hyperdrive, and there is a navicomputer that has to make the calculations to jump to light speed, as they say in the very first movie.
That way you will avoid,
Crashing into a star, fly through a
bouncing right
planet,
off. Yeah.
Asteroids.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. As
Ending
the
our trip real
pilot-
quick.
bounce off a supernova.
Well, as the pilot, would I know that if we continue on to the planet, we will have safe landing?
That is a good question. So the planet you are arriving at is a minor trade hub on the edge of Hutt space. It's sort of out of the way, but it's not a totally lawless place. You think that if you're able to stick around here, like for a decent amount of time, you think the authorities will probably come for you. In fact, you could send out a distress beacon right now.
Anya will do that.
No, wait.
No.
Scratch that. No.
Do we have an ID on the ship attacking us?
We
At
don't know
all?
that right now.
What do you
That's how
mean
I
by
know.
an
Look
ID
out the window.
What do you
Well,
mean?
do we
can
know,
we
guys? Seriously, every time I've talked, someone has tried to talk over me. It's getting annoying. Do we know the size of the ship relative to us? Is it broadcasting any type of, say, ID transponder that would identify what faction it's with, or at least pretending to be with?
So that is a good question. After it just flew by you, you would have gotten a look at it, so let me post a picture of it.
Because there's no sense waiting for Hutt authorities or sending a distress beacon if it's a Hutt ship shooting at us.
Also, Hutt authorities. This is Nar Shaddaa.
This is not Nar Shaddaa. But
Oh, I thought you said this was
There.
you were heading to
This is
Nar
a stop.
Shaddaa, you were not there yet.
heading to. Okay.
Yeah, this is Delang, which is a sort of somewhat out of the way trade port. However, this is not actually in Hutt space, it's on the border with Hutt space. This is controlled by the Empire.
Okay, and do I recognize, what faction the ship would be with? Is this
Not really. I mean,
is
this
it
is just sort of
broadcasting a transponder like for IFF with other friendlies it might encounter?
it's not pinging any particular way, it's just sort of it's pinging as if it were another commercial vessel.
Got it. So it's pirates.
Pirates.
You think that's likely.
Okay. So now, Anya, now that we know it's probably pirates, now you can pop off the emergency beacon.
Anya will pop off the emergency beacon. Also under I apologize.
No worries. You're not the only one who was doing it. It just got really annoying.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people here, so just yeah,
So yes,
Share the airspace.
after dodging and weaving, Anya will hit the emergency deploy beacon thing to signal help from authorities near the Planet. Wait, is it a planet or
It
is
is a planet.
it like a? Okay.
We everything we're doing is strictly legal, right? When the Empire shows up, everything's on the up and up, right? We're not gonna have some regrets over having launched this beacon.
They
Or-
attacked
No
you,
comment.
and
Are we carrying any contraband that we know of?
not that you know of.
Okay.
Yeah, so we could be doing this in initiative, but just for the sake of making it easy, we're just gonna sort of keep going like this. So now, if you guys would like to shoot back, each of you
Yes.
will have the opportunity to do that. And
I
I
would
will let
like
you
to
go in
respond.
whichever order you would like.
We're just doing volley initiative. We go, then they
Yeah.
go, then we go.
Well, it's
Alright.
more like, yeah, you get it.
So I guess Brinks will open fire.
All right. So you need to make a gunnery. Oh, actually, I should explain how the difficulty works. So the ship that you guys are on, actually, here, why didn't I post a picture of that too? So your ship is one of these bad boys. That is a Silhouette 5 ship, and this thing attacking you is Silhouette 4. So based on the difference, let me look at it here.
Looks like what? That thing would have like maybe half.
So the
Our mass?
important thing is that the ship is one size smaller than you, so the difficulty to hit it with your weapons is 2. So, Gilbert, why don't you roll 2 purple dice to complete the other half of the skill check?
Oh, really? It's not just the 3 green I have from gunnery?
No. So those represent your ability.
Contested
The other
check.
half of the skill check is the difficulty. And the difficulty
Good to know.
in ship combat is determined by difference of size.
That makes sense. It's difficult for a Star Destroyer to hit an X-Wing
Exactly.
with its main guns.
Okay, so you have generated 3 successes and 1 threat. So, yeah, we'll, what's the base damage on those?
6.
Yeah, so you would deal 9 damage, and you generated a threat, which I will now spend. Yeah, so you were able to hit him, however, as a result of trying to... how would we put that? We'll say that because you had to bring your guns around to bear on them, they're going to have an easier time hitting you now because of the way the ship had to move. Like you've sort of shown them your broadside inadvertently. All right, now who wants to go next?
I can go next.
All right, you have generated 1 success, so you would just deal 7 damage and nothing else happens.
Could I, since we're just doing volley initiative, could I assist Anya with the targeting to get her a boost die?
You certainly can. You can give her a call out.
Yeah, I begin guiding her fire in, since
Yep.
we're all on the bridge.
So Anya, when you make your gunnery attack, you can add 1 boost die to the roll.
What color is the boost die?
Blue, it is represented by the letter B.
Lisa, you need help with that roll?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so CC, when you make your roll, you make a gunnery attack, and the difficulty is 2. However, you add a boost die. So what's your gunnery roll?
Gunnery roll would be a yellow and 3 greens.
Okay, so YGGG, and the difficulty is 2, so PP, and then B for 1 boost die.
YGGG.
PPB.
Yeah, you said
Just like
PP.
that. Yeah, I said PP. There's going to be a lot of that in this game.
Pew pew. That's what I heard.
Okay, unfortunately, Anya misses. However, she does generate 3 advantages, so you can now spend those if you want.
How do I do that? What are advantages?
So, if you look on the cheat sheet, which all of you should have, there are 2 tables. There is one for spending advantages and threats in personal combat, and one for space combat.
One moment.
Ah,
The
so one
basic
thing.
mechanics? Or wait. Oh, combat.
Yep, so it is the 5th page of the cheat sheet if you're looking at it separately. I don't know what page it is if you're viewing it through the handbook.
Successful
say-
attack effects?
Yes, vehicle combat. Now, if you go down to where it says the 3 advantage symbols, you can temporarily damage component instead of damage, but you can't do that because you didn't hit.
Ignore
there's-
penalizing terrain?
Yeah, that doesn't really apply here. However, you can perform one
No.
free pilot-only maneuver. if
Okay,
you would
what's
like
one
that.
free? Wait, break any enemy aim or stay on target maneuver?
You could do that as well. So when I spent
Well,
that,
who has... Sorry.
so when I spent that thread earlier, they were able to sort of aim at you. So if you wanted, you could spend those 3 advantages to negate that.
How much damage did it do?
It doesn't do damage; it just makes it easier for them to hit you.
Yes.
Okay, so you do that. Now, however, they're going to make their roll, and they're a little closer than they were before, which is going to allow
Well,
them to
can't
do
I
something
do that
different.
while piloting away?
Yeah, I mean, it's assumed that you are piloting away. Like,
Okay.
we're sort of running this like a dogfight, and in a dogfight, it's sort of assumed that you were just doing that. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll probably get more in depth in terms of the way I run this going forward. I just want to keep it simple right now because we're still new to this game. However, now it is their turn to attack you guys. They're going to take aim at you guys. And we're going to make it a little easier for them to hit. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, so they're going to shoot at you. However, this time they are not shooting with their lasers. They are shooting missiles at you. And you feel the impact of these missiles as they, like, rock through the ship. However, they don't just, like... This doesn't appear to have been a huge hit near, like, the midsection, as you would expect if they were sort of aiming for center of mass. This feels like it was targeted towards the back of the ship. And Anya, when you're at the front, you notice that the engines appear to be severely damaged. After doing that, they're then going to continue flying around you and out of sight, at least from the bridge.
Leona Tix, you might want to head aft. They've taken out the engines and are likely about to
Yeah.
board us.
Yeah, I'd like to position myself. Try to find a corridor, something narrow, aimed back toward the rear of the ship.
And as if on cue, you hear a sort of hard bump come up from the bottom of the ship, as if something had bumped into you.
Knowledge question. Is the ship that they're attacking us with rated for atmospheric entry?
What exactly do you mean? Like, can the ship fly into atmosphere?
Will it burn up if we were to enter atmosphere with it?
Like, with it attached to the ship?
Uh-huh.
No, you don't think so. I mean, it's generally not good to enter atmosphere with a ship docked to you. It would probably just get ripped off. But you don't think that would like damage the ship horribly, and it would also. You think it
Really
would
get rid.
The likelihood of the ship crashing into you if you attempted to do that is about as high as anything particularly bad happening to it.
Okay. Also, just because we've been on the ship, is by docking there, or is it out of our gun arcs?
Yes, it is on the bottom of the ship.
Right. Okay, so I would also then page Aiden and Branks, to let them know.
Yeah.
The ship is docked to us. Get to the docking port. Back up
And
Leona and Tix.
And as it now becomes relevant, there is something that I need to post for you guys. This is the deck plan of your ship. So you guys are on the bridge in the upper deck. Behind that is the living area, which is sort of like a living room, kitchen. Then crew quarters. Below that is the cargo hold, which takes up the bulk of the ship's interior. And then below that is the docking bay, which is where you think they would be entering from.
Mm-hmm. And after I paged the other two guys, I would turn to Cam. I was like, Captain, I'm going to go below and lead the defense.
Way ahead of you. And he's got like a blaster in his hand as if he's about to come with you.
Perhaps
Well, I
you
would
should
be
stay
okay.
here and ensure that the ship is commanded.
Commanded, they're coming on board through the bottom. They're not going to...
And if help arrives, who are they going to talk to? Anya?
Well, you make a good point there.
You should stay on the bridge and talk to whoever shows up just in case, so they know which ship to shoot. Preferably not us.
Tell you what, why don't you, since you're so damn good at it, why don't you roll negotiations to see if you can get him to not participate in the fighting that you think is about to happen. And it'll be difficulty 3 when you do this.
Okay.
Is this where we learned that our captain's a coordinate berserker?
I mean,
So,
we got two
I'm gonna use a
Mandalorian
destiny die.
armor in the day.
Go ahead.
That's
I mean, could
There
I
isn't
ask a question?
really... Yeah, go ahead.
Could I, so our captain, I kind of blacked out a little bit, I apologize. Our captain is threatening to run away.
He's not threatening to run away.
No,
He
no,
is
no.
threatening to help you fight off the boarders.
And I'm telling him to sit in the cockpit so we can direct, the reinforcements that we called for at the emergency beacon. To the enemy
So
ship
why
and not
is
us.
that a bad thing?
Devati
Oh,
is
wait,
talking our captain out of frontline combat and into directing reinforcements.
It's like, alright. But if I hear you all getting killed down there, don't expect me to just sit idly by up here.
If we're all dead, you should just vent the bay. And I'd leave.
Alright. So he leaves. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm piloting. I want to move. I want to get out of range. I want to do something.
Alright, well, the
Fly
other ship is now
away.
attached to you, so there is no flying
Oh.
away.
Can I move, jiggle the cord? Can I get off?
Yeah, you think you could try to do that, actually. Let's see, this will be a difficulty 3 piloting check on you.
Okay, how do I do that?
So you look at, yeah.
R, and it would be yellow, yellow, green, green, P, 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 P.
Yes.
Just
Just 3 Ps, difficulty 3. You're trying to use the ship's engines to sort of shake off the attached ship.
Did I do it right?
Yeah, just gotta give it a second. So, you do succeed,
Did I do
however...
bad?
No, you do good.
Oh, yeah.
That is a successful roll, and that is going to have an outcome. However, it is not going to fully dislodge the ship. What it is going to do, however, is shake them around really quick.
Damage us.
It's not going to
Oh,
damage
shake them
you.
around or shake us?
It's going to shake them around.
Oh,
You think
okay.
that you probably just bought your allies a lot of time.
So I shook them around, so like their heads probably hit the ceiling.
Yeah, well, like,
Probably concussed a bit of their boarding party.
Yeah, they were
You don't- yeah.
staging to board, and
all
you,
of them
you
are
just
probably
threw 'em all
like,
over
on
the
the
place.
floor now.
Yay! I did something. All right, next.
So are you staying up at the bridge?
Yeah, I have to pilot, don't I?
If that's what you want to do.
I mean, I have a gun on me in case some like I have a high perception. I'm pretty sure if someone comes up behind me, I could hear him. I hope.
Well, you're up there with the captain, so.
All right.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming
Captain, my
Tix and I. I'm assuming Tix and I are the first ones there, being the dedicated anti-boarding party.
Sure.
Is there any like loose objects around whatever hallway we're securing that I can use for cover or move into
cargo
a
containers, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'll explain that as soon as you get down there. But before you do that, I want to know who else is going that way.
Yo.
Brinsk, of course.
I'll be going down too.
Okay, so it looks like everybody except for Anya and the captain and the doctor.
captain.
Yeah, the doctor's
Yeah.
got no need to go into combat. Yeah.
He's in
Alright.
the med bay, technically.
the security detail and the politician they're designated to protect.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Wait, okay. Pete, can I ask you a story about? Can I ask you about something my character may know?
Yes.
So, would my character know that we're getting paid for whatever job we're doing right now?
Sort of. I mean, you guys would be paying your way. So, like, some of you might just be trying to get to Nar Shaddaa, whereas for others, this might just be, like, your mode of gainful employment. I will
I'd
leave that
rather
up to
get
you.
money. So I'm just saying, like, how much money is it? Like, is it enough for me to shoot the captain and betray him, or is it enough money to be loyal?
I mean, the money's not great.
Why do you want to shoot the captain?
I can change sides.
What the?
Dude, I'm a smuggler. I want to pick the side that's winning in case we're losing.
I'm just going to.
Note to self: execute the pilot.
Yeah, that's why we brought spare pilots.
Yeah.
I hope she don't get injured. Shit.
Hey, you don't know that in character. Go away.
Nope.
Anyway,
When we go back up to the bridge and the captain's been
The
shot.
pilot.
He's splattered all over the fucking helm. Yeah, we're gonna know.
Stray bullet.
no.
ain't
Okay. Okay, I have another question then.
Mhm.
Currently at the helm of the ship, are there cameras stationed? Like, how far in space? Like, not far in space. How adapt was Star Wars? Like, do we see holograms or video feed of like the containers? Like, can I see them going down the corridors, getting ready to go to meet the bad guys?
You do not have a security feed of the inside of the cargo hold, no.
Okay, I was just curious. Okay,
Speaking
how
of the
would I
cargo hold,
know?
yes.
Sorry. How would I know if they're getting outrun?
Just have to
You don't
wait.
think you would unless you could hear them.
Listen for the
And can
screaming.
Yeah, listen for the screaming.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll listen for the screaming, and then I may or may not shoot our captain.
The,
Okay.
I'm sorry,
It
guys.
sounds like I want to be on the catwalks.
So I was gonna read this, but I imagine all of you have probably had time to read that yourself. That is the description
Please
of
read
the
it.
cargo room.
Please read it. Please read it.
All right. So I will. How about this? I'll neatly sum it up. It's a long space. There's catwalks running across the topmost layer near the ceiling. Cargo containers are stacked up to 2 layers high below that. There are stairways, enclosed stairways, that lead down from the top deck of the ship to the catwalk and the floor of the cargo bay. And then below that, near the aft, there is a lift and another set of stairs going down into the docking bay. And then at the very back is a door leading to the engineering section.
So it sounds like we actually want to go all the way down to the docking bay since that's where they'll be coming up from.
Yes, except that that door is only at the aft of the ship, and you guys are coming from the fore near the bridge.
It definitely sounds like we'll want to position Aiden as close to where they're coming as possible, since he has a flamethrower.
But there's only one way up and down from the docking bay, right?
There's only one way up and down from the docking bay.
Which is in the cargo hold, that way.
which is in the cargo hold that way.
Yeah, I would like to be on a catwalk facing that route.
Yep.
I would
How-
like to be on a catwalk looking at the door, I guess, for the lift for the docking bay to the cargo.
So the real question is, are you going directly down onto the catwalks, or are you going like towards the back of the ship through the living area first and then down onto the catwalks?
Well, I would like a good vantage point. I'd rather be aiming across than straight down.
All right. What's everybody else doing?
How
Can I shake it again?
big are these cargo crates? Like, are they the size of the big crates on ocean freighters, or are they just?
They're the size of a shipping container. Yes. This is a big ship.
20 or 40 footers.
Yeah, like that.
No, I'm
Like
asking,
each-
are they 20 or 40 feet wide?
Oh, they're like wide. They're like the 20 footers.
Sorry, I meant
I think-
long. But yeah.
They're like 20 foot long. Like one of these would fit comfortably on the back of a mid-sized truck.
Okay, and are there just one column of them, so that the aisles on the cargo bay are on the sides, or is it in the center, the aisle? Like
So
with two
there's-
rows of these containers.
Yeah, so they're in rows of two. There is an aisle in the center, and then on either side there's like there. God, I'm not making this totally clear. There is an aisle running down the center, and then there are aisles to either sides, and in between those are two rows of containers each.
Okay, so Tix being up on the catwalk would have a clear shot at long range at that door down to the docking bay.
Yeah, more or less. You could
Okay.
position yourself on the dock or on the catwalk so that you could get that kind of a view.
Perfect.
Now, what do the rest of you do?
How close can this crane get to moving a crate from to the docking bay door? 'Cause I just want to put the biggest inconvenience possible right in their faces as soon as they open that door.
Yeah,
Uh,
control the choke points.
You think you could do that, but you would have to get there first, and that's like to get far enough to be able to use that console. You'd have to go like halfway down the catwalks in that direction.
I'll get started on that. If they open the door before then, I'll have a vantage point to shoot back. Presumably.
All right. The
Uh,
rest of you?
DM.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you want to go first, Gilbert? I mean,
Yes.
Rex.
So,
Okay.
Pete, these catwalks. In order to get down onto the ground floor, kind of to control one of the like the choke point where they're going to be, coming in through.
hmm
Would I be able to say cut my my journey time in half by
Christ. Sorry, continue.
all good?
Yeah, no, you just got really loud there.
The only way to cut your journey time in half is through Jesus.
Let me. Sorry, let me put the bucket back on. Would I be able to use my integrated grappling hook to just lower myself from the most convenient point to this
Yes,
area?
if you want to go directly to the floor, you think you could do that.
Yeah, I'd like to get directly to the floor.
All right. If you go directly to the floor, you will not have like a direct line of sight on the stairs, but you will also have cover down there because now the shipping containers are in the way.
Wait. On the stairs?
What do you mean on the stair? Or sorry, the stairs coming up from the docking bay. So like if you stay on the catwalk, you'll be able to see those, but if you go down, you will no longer be able to see them.
Right. I want to be here. That way, once they get up the stairs, I can open fire on them.
Okay, so you're staying on top of the catwalk.
No, I want to operate as a second volley. Basically,
Okay.
it sounds like everyone else is stacking up for when they come through the doors. I'll be standing in this position. That way I have a different angle on these guys if they get past the stairs.
Right, I got you. So you're down there and you're doing that. And
Is there like an obvious position of cover that they'd be able to reach that would protect them from the catwalks, but I could be flanking?
Yeah. So the only reason they're visible from Tix's position on the catwalk is because he can see down that corridor in the middle. When they come out of those stairs, you think that they could duck to either side behind the containers and go out of sight. And in fact, if they do that to the left side, they'll be able to reach the stairs that go up to the catwalk.
I would like to place myself on that left side, then, over by the stairs. That
Okay.
way, it sounds like it would play out like this: they exit the docking bay, they get shot at by my compatriots. If they survive, and that I would then be able to shoot them as they try to actually go up the stairs.
All right. Well, you think you can. So, in order to get to that far end, you have to move like a fair bit. You could go to that way via the catwalk and then go down the stairs at that end.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Yeah. So you don't quite have enough time to make it all the way down the stairs. You're sort of in there at the end of what we'll call this round. We're not an initiative, but that's what we'll call it. And
All right.
see, I think Aiden was also going down there, and Leona, what are you doing?
I was moving to the crane.
Right, you were moving to the crane. Yeah. Yeah, so you're able to make it to the crane, you're just not able to use it yet. And then what's Aiden doing?
So I'd like to get within short range of the door. And is there any cover around there?
So you think the fastest way to do that would actually be to go the same way Brinks is going. Like, he's pretty much taking the most direct route to the door. He's not headed for the door, he's gonna, stop at those containers off to the side. But if you just want to rush the door, you would go the same way he's going.
Okay.
Alright.
But is there any cover around there?
Yeah, there's shipping containers that you could duck behind, and you're coming down out of the stairwell, so if you need cover, you can just go back up it a little bit. The stairwell is it's an enclosed stairwell, it goes into the wall. So when you're on there, you can't be seen from the cargo bay, as long as you're not in the door.
Alright. Yeah, I'll get as close as possible, but without revealing myself.
Yeah, so you're pretty much going the same way as Brinks. Neither of you make it all the way to the bottom of the stairs. You're, on what would be your next turn, you'll be able to make it there. However, before that happens...
Well, I'm going with Brinks as well.
And you're going that way as well?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So 3 of you are going down those stairs, and I think Tix and Leona are waiting up on the catwalk, one of them towards the back, the other towards those controls. And as all of you get into position, you see these... Actually, I should post a picture of them. Yeah, you see the boarders begin coming up the stairs. I can't talk.
It's okay, they're all just a bunch of 2x4s.
What you see are a group of ortolans, and they look like this.
Let me know when I can splatter one of those guys on the wall.
We're being invaded by musicians.
I mean, that's one of the things that...
Just the percussion section.
Yeah, just the percussion section. I should point out, these guys are also small and blue.
They're fucking space farts!
They are, yes.
They are offensive
Space
to the
farts?
for
Space
that
farts
reason.
retreat?
And you can hear them talking amongst each other. You don't understand what they're saying. You think they're probably speaking Ortolan, which is a pretty obscure language that... maybe... if you're especially proficient in knowledge education or xenology, you might understand that, but it's not a super common language. However, their speech is very, sort of high-pitched and raspy like this. But anyway, you see several of them, 8 in fact, come up that stairwell, all sort of in a stream together. And as soon as they come up out of the cargo bay, they They look up at the catwalk and they would see Tix and they would see Leona, and they immediately realize that they're facing some resistance here.
Yeah, they also probably immediately see smoke and a muzzle flash.
So not yet. The one thing is, this game does not have reactions. You only get to, aside from like spending the effects of advantages and threats on rolls, you only get to do things during your own turn. There's no ready action in this game. So they do get their turn now, and since the three of you guys did not make it all the way down the stairs, one of these groups is going to take a shot at Tix, and the other is going to take a shot at Leona.
Can I spend a destiny point to make them like harder to hit?
Yes, you can. See, it's their turn, so you can do that on the first one. So that would upgrade the difficulty by 1. And who would you like to make harder to hit? And I should point out, Tix is further away, so they're going to have a harder time hitting her.
Oh, the Leona then.
All right.
The one that's easier to get shot.
Right. All right, let's see here. So I think Tix was at long range, and Leona was at, we'll say she was at medium. All right. All right, so that was the shot taken at Leona. The difficulty is upgraded by 1, which is what that red die means. And so they do hit, however, they only generate 1 advantage. All right. Yeah, let's see here. So that is 5, 9. And where's the little advantage thing? Okay, and then they're going to hold on to that. Yep, so that volley of attacks directed at Tix is going to deal 9 wounds to her. Yeah, they've all got like little blaster pistols, and they sort of open up. A lot of them miss you, but there's like 4 of these guys, so enough of them were able to hit you that you like take some damage from that. And let's see, so that's one group. The other group, they are, or I'm sorry, that was Leona. Did I say Tix?
You did.
I did say Tix. I'm sorry. So if you dealt yourself wounds, please undo that. I meant Leona because that was the one that Devati said he was upgrading.
Yeah, I missed that you said Tix the second time, but I've got the wounds marked down.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that. And the other group, now that I realize their weapons are not able to reach you, Tix. So instead, they are going to rush for the stairwell across the way. And the second the first of them gets into it, they see the 3 of you coming down and stop in their tracks. And that is it for their turn.
With Iden leading the way with a heavy flamer. Yeah,
Yes.
No wonder they stopped.
All right, it is now your guys' turn. I will let you go in whichever order you would like to.
Maybe the flamer should go first?
I think so.
Nah, Get him last. Let's take all the close kills first.
Would it be wise with my crew down there for me to try and joggle the ship again?
You don't think so?
You'll probably concuss us more than the enemy.
It's one thing when everybody is in the bridge. It's another thing when there's people down in the cargo hold. And additionally, the boarders are now in the cargo hold. So anything you do to them is going to happen to your crewmates.
Can I set out another beacon? I mean, how far away are we from the planet? Like, are we currently stopped, or are we still kind of slowly moving?
You're still moving, but you're moving very slowly due to the damage that has been sustained to your engines.
Alright, how do I fix those? Oh, how would we go about fixing those engines?
Alright, so, let's see.
I'm sorry to go first, guys. I just...
No, it's alright. I mean, you're...
You let R2-D2 to do it. It worked in the movies.
Yeah, well, you don't have R2-D2, unfortunately.
We don't have a... Do we even have droids?
That
I didn't
never
ask that
stopped.
later.
That never stopped Anakin.
Alright, let's see.
That's actually a good question. Do we even have droids on this ship?
You do not have droids on this ship.
Oh, this is a crappy ship. Oh, we're poor.
Let's see,
Alright,
I'm
so
gonna
Anya,
say-
I put on
So-
autopilot and run to the engine bay, like past everybody. Like, I don't know what the engine bay is.
So,
What does our ship look like?
the problem is the entrance to the engineering section is at the back of the cargo hold, where all of this fighting is currently happening. Like, there's a door in the back wall behind where those ortolans just came out of, that you would have to go in there if you want to make those repairs.
Alright.
Is that what you're doing?
I don't know. Having four greens is probably not a good idea, I'm guessing.
4 greens in repair? Or in mechanics?
Oh, and in stealth.
I will say this, you would have a very difficult time sneaking through there.
Yeah, so it's not good.
Even if you were very stealthy, you would have a hard time doing that.
It's
What
less
if I...
It's less your ability to be stealthy and more the lack of any cover to hide behind.
Okay,
No, there's a
question.
lot of cover. It's more just the sheer number of people, and if you wanted to get there, you would have to go through one of 2 areas. They're both just, like, full of people.
Well, wait a minute. Can I rework the programming a little bit? Like, instead of using my stealth, can I use my perception?
To do what?
Like, you know how stealthing works, where you try to stealthily move around people to not be seen? What if I use my perception to go around where I see them?
So, I mean, I understand what you're saying. The problem is that in order to get through that door, you would have to get through this, like, big mass of ortolans that just came up out of that door, and there's just too many of them. They have, like, all of the angles covered between the 8 of them.
Damn. Okay, then I guess I have no choice. I mean, do you guys? I don't know. Can I ask out of game? Would you guys want me to leave the captain by himself?
No.
Okay.
Normally no, but given some previous remarks, probably.
I mean,
It's less likely.
Unless you're thinking homicidal, then yes, leave the captain alone.
It's less likely to get our captain shot in the back of the head twice and chalked up as a suicide.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, should I leave the captain alone and help you guys since I have gunnery?
No. Pilot. That is what you do.
Well, I have guns. Okay. I'll stay on board. Never mind. You guys go. Your turn. Go.
All right, people in the stairwell, what you doing?
How many can I get with a short-ranged flamethrower blast?
So, as it happens, all 4 of them just crammed into that stairwell, and they are at short range, in a confined space.
Burn.
Oh, the tiny blue screams.
What 4 of them?
All right, well, make your roll, and the difficulty will be just 1, because they're at short range.
Let me know
Steps
if.
out from one with a flamethrower.
Let me know
Imagine,
when I can do my turn.
imagine that. It's hard to miss with a flamethrower when there's nowhere to
Let
run.
combatants handle this. We're non-combatants.
Well, you haven't done anything with your turn on yet, so you can do that after one of these guys go. All right, so that's a hit. You would add that 4 to the damage of your flamer. Or, no, wait, I'm sorry, I was looking at my roll. That is a 3. You would add that 3 to the damage of your flamer. Which I think does, what, it's like 8?
Yeah, 8.
8. Yep. So 8 plus 3 would be 11.
And then they burn 3?
No. So you need to spend advantage to activate burn, which you did not generate any of.
Oh.
So you're able to hit these guys well enough that you can, like, scorch them, but you are not able to, like, continuously ignite them. They don't burst into flames.
They're golden brown marshmallows.
Yeah.
They managed to like actually get out of there before their clothes catch, but they got
Yeah,
burns on
they
the
can.
skin.
Yeah, they're able to flinch away quick enough that they don't just like combust. But you seriously hurt these guys. And actually, here I need to do the math on this. Give me a second. So it's 11. Oh, actually, that just cancels that out. So it's 8. Yeah, so with that, you actually kill one of them. However, 3 of them were able to escape out the bottom of that stairwell.
But they didn't like that shit.
No, they sure didn't. Now, what are the rest of you in that stairwell going to do? Oh, actually, hold on. It's still
Still Aiden's turn.
yeah, it's still Aiden's turn. That was your attack. You have a maneuver. So if you want to move, you can do that. Yeah, that's you.
Well, I can probably move next round. So can I basically, like, assist someone by saying, they're almost dead, finish them off?
Yeah, you can do that.
So the next person to attack these guys will have a boost.
Sure, you can do that. Well, in fact, what you did was so violent and cool. We'll call it inspiration. It's not that you're helping them hit them.
Yes.
You're just making them feel really good about it. That's the bad guys.
Well, then Brank should probably go next, since he's right behind Aiden.
Indeed. Branks will take the blaster carbine, turn the corner, and start blasting.
Pew pew.
All right. Well, when you turn the
Is
corner,
that a
then
big gun?
it is a big gun. And unfortunately, when you go out the bottom of that stairwell, because they only just like flinched out of the way as they were coming in, that is going to put you in engaged range of them.
If I'm just like leaning around the corner.
Yeah, well, so what you saw happen is they were in the middle of like piling into the stairwell as you guys were running down it. Aiden opened fire with his flamethrower, scorched one of them and killed him. The other 3 just sort of flinched back out the other side. Then you ran down to the bottom, and these guys are like 5 feet away from you now.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna start blasting.
All right. Now, the fact that these guys are 5 feet away from you is going to make that hard.
Uh-huh.
So let's see here. All right, you are engaged with ranged heavy, so the difficulty will be 3.
Okay.
And
let's see.
additionally,
Alright. Okay, so
Aiden's,
you're engaged. That's not the same thing as short, right?
no, it is. So if you look in the cheat sheet, the fact that you're engaged with hostile creatures makes the difficulty higher.
Okay.
So the difficulty is 3. However,
Is that a huge difficulty?
that is considered hard difficulty. Like you're going to have as hard of a time hitting these guys as they had hitting Leona.
Hmm.
And in part, the reason for that is that while Aiden's words of encouragement have inspired you, they have also alerted the Orderlands to the fact that you were coming down the stairs. And so the difficulty of that is going to be upgraded now. So instead of being PPP, it is now PPR. but you have a boost die.
Hmm.
You don't have like a flamethrower, do you?
No, I don't. Look, I didn't get that much money at the start, man. Good armor is expensive.
I mean, you
Good
don't have
anything
to
to
shoot
spend
them.
it.
You could also just try to like punch them or beat them with your gun.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm not totally sure what I'm looking at dice-wise. So, my range heavy is 2 yellows and a green.
Yep.
And my brawl, because that would be brawl, right,
It would be brawl.
is 2 green. So, even with all the shit in this content...
I will leave
if I
it up
go-
to you.
If I go to kick their shit in, I'm not having to deal with that colossal amount of disadvantage, right?
It would be a little easier. It would reduce the difficulty by 1 if you were to try punching them instead. However, I think you do also have something that makes you deal more damage to enemies that are close to you, right? You have a point blank.
Yes. Point blank. Add 1 damage per rank to ranged attacks made within short range.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's good for short range, but it applies here as well. And you would only get that if you made a ranged attack. That's because it's only on that.
And then, what context is coercion?
Coercion. If you wanted to spend your action to just like scare them really badly, that would be coercion.
Casualties are also scary, though. Yeah, I guess I'll lean around the corner and I'll try to blast them with the blaster carbine.
Yep. So it would be your normal ability side of the roll, and then the difficulty will be PPR, and you also have a boost die.
All right. So it's yellow, yellow, green.
B. PPR.
All right. Am I able to spend some destiny points on this?
So I spent a destiny point on it, so you can spend a destiny point on it, but then that's it.
I would like to spend a destiny point on it.
All right. What would you like
Because
to do?
this is the way.
Very nice.
Shit, how does the destiny work again?
So you can spend it the same way I've spent it, which is to upgrade one side of the skill check. So what do you have for ranged heavy?
What do you mean, what do I have?
What's your roll for ranged heavy?
Oh, it's yellow, yellow, green.
Yeah, so if you spent a destiny point, it would become yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so it would be YYY B PPR. And now we wait. So you do hit. However, you generate 2 threats. So what's your base damage?
Base damage with a blaster carbine is 9.
9. Very nice. And then you add damage because of your point blank, right?
Yep. And so a total of 10 damage.
Total of your base damage is. Oh, was that 9 including the point blank?
I don't think so, unless the sheet does it automatically.
It doesn't. Yeah, so the base damage is 9, you add 1 from the success, so that's 10, and then 2 from point blank, so that would be 12.
Good God, Gilbert.
Yep.
You just stepped out and mowed them fuckers out. Now.
Yeah, so let's see, we take off 3 for their soak, so that's 9. Yeah, you kill another one, and that's it. So there are now 2 of these guys.
Am I able to back up around the corner?
I'm gonna say no, because you just, oh well, so that's interesting. You spent your maneuver to go down there, and then you used your action to make that attack. However, if you would like to take 1 point of stress, you can get an additional free maneuver to back up.
I thought it was 2 strain for a maneuver.
I think you're right. I think it is 2 strain, isn't it?
Where's the list of maneuvers here on the cheat sheet?
It's
3.
on the cheat sheet. It's page 3. Yes, it is 2 maneuvers. Thank you. Sorry, 2.
2 strain.
2 strain. Yeah, 2 strain is 1 maneuver, max 2 maneuvers. Thank you, Wonder.
No
I'm
worries.
just happy I have somebody else who knows a little about this game.
In that case, then, sure, I will take 2 strain in order to do the taking cover maneuver.
Ooh. Now, let me see. That does... So taking cover gives you a point of ranged defense against ranged attacks. However, it also gives you a setback on your perception check. So you would have a harder time seeing them because you're in cover.
Okay.
Yeah, they also have a harder time seeing you. So, yeah. And yeah, so I think that's it for your turn, unless you're doing anything else.
No, that's it.
All right. And who else was in that stairwell?
I am.
All right, what are you doing?
So I'm going to use a maneuver to move down. Like, there's like a landing at the bottom of the stairwell, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
There's
so
like,
I'm going to move down there, and then I'd like to make a leadership skill check to try to inspire Aiden and Branks into, better combat performance.
yep. You know the roll you have to make for that?
I know it's a leadership. I don't know what the difficulty would be.
I think it should say in the ability you have that does that. Or do you not have that yet?
I don't. I'm asking. Like, there's just a general clause for making a skill check as an action in combat.
Yes. Let's see.
Essentially, what I would like to do is, because it's a skill check, I'm essentially trying to assist both of them in their next combat checks. Is how I would imagine mechanically that would work. And since it's, since I'm doing a double assist as the action, I assume there's some type of skill check I have to make as a leadership thing.
Yeah, let me see here. Actually, here, I think there's something similar in the Starship Combat section that we can probably just use for that. Where is it? Let's see.
Yeah, because I'm probably there out with my pistol waving it around on, we got him on the run!
Yeah, so we'll say that you can use the personal equivalent of the fire discipline starship action. So what that does is it is difficulty 3 leadership or discipline, and if you succeed, you give a boost die to the next crew member, and we'll say it only applies to them two. So the next of them two who attack, and then you can spend 2 successes to give it to an additional person. And you can spend 3 advantages to inflict strain onto the enemies.
Okay, so if I have that right, it's a success gives both of these guys a boost die.
Yep.
And if I get 2 successes, they get 2 I can give a third boost die to one of the ranged guys?
No, so it's like a success gives one of them a boost die, and 2 successes gives 2 of them a boost die. So why don't you just roll it, and then we'll determine how you spend it.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Difficulty 3?
Difficulty 3. As soon as the bot responds.
Yep.
That poor thing.
Yeah, that bot is just in awe of my leadership. This poor bot.
Yeah. It was not this bad the other time we did this. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably Discord.
Probably.
Yeah, you can go after this if you want. Oh my god.
Like, I can try again. See.
Yeah, do it again. If it does 2, we'll use the first one.
Cece, you know you can just ask, right?
I didn't want to be a bother.
Yeah, I did want to handle all the people in the stairwell at once, because what they're doing is sort of... Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. Unfortunately, you fail. However, even in your attempt, you can spend those advantages, 3 of them, to inflict a point of strain onto the Ornaments.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep. So, you're not able to be quite so inspiring as you are scathing, but you are effective in how scathing you are.
Okay.
And because these are minions, that actually does damage to them.
Nice. How much strain does that do?
1.
Oh, okay.
But it bypasses their soak, so that's not an insignificant amount.
True.
Alright, I think that's everybody in the stairwell. Do you want to go on it?
Yes, I would like, in the pictures of the ships, everyone's currently in like the center of the ship in the cargo bay, right?
Yeah, except for you and the captain and the doctor. You're all up in the top deck.
So if I maneuver our ship and try to like hit their engine wing thing with the side of our ship, would that be possible?
So, not really. Because they're docked onto you, the ship is like fixed to the bottom of you. If you wanted to try and shake it loose again, you would have to wrench the ship pretty violently, and you think that would have a detrimental effect on the health of your crewmates?
Oh, I mean, I have an idea. Everybody,
right.
hang on! I yell over the intercom.
Alright.
Now, what do I do?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and jostle the ship again.
Mm-hmm. Alright. I think I said it was... What did I say?
It
It was
was
3?
YYGGG, and I think 2 or 3.
Yep. Piloting
Yeah.
with 3 purples.
Yeah, piloting difficulty 3, so... Ooh, yeah.
Did I do good?
Yep.
Yay, I did good.
So, unfortunately, you did good, but you did good against everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Wait,
on
what
a
did we-
catwalk right now.
Yep.
Yep, so everyone,
Well, I don't know
including... Actually, we'll say everyone except Anya, because Anya is in a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Even
everyone...
the captain. Hey,
The
wait.
The
I
captain
did
is
warn
standing
them.
up.
I did warn them to hold on.
You did warn
Doesn't
them.
that count for something?
Yep, and because that... although that went out over the PA system.
Which does
True.
not discriminate between teammates and enemies.
Yes, everyone heard that.
Okay, well,
So we'll say that this is going to be... Because you were so successful, it will be a
well, I don't know, there could
difficulty...
be aliens.
There are aliens.
Oh, well, bleh, they probably don't know our language. I don't know.
Half of us are
Basic.
aliens, but
They
we all
probably
speak.
know basic.
Yes, you were speaking Galactic Basic, which almost everyone knows.
Who the
Oh,
fuck
I
doesn't
know
know
that.
Galactic Basic?
Dude, a street merchant, shut up. No one
That's
likes you.
Galactic Basic is what the street merchants use, CC.
I've never been to
That's
school.
why they
what?
call it basic.
Alright, so what this is going to be is everyone except Anya, and that also includes the captain, I'll roll for him. You all need to make a difficulty 3 coordination check, but you have 1 boost die.
Oh, yay.
God, the box
Boost is-
hate this.
Boost is
B.
B for blue.
I mean, what do we roll?
Coordination.
God damn it.
What difficulty?
Difficulty 3.
I'm sorry.
I have 2 green.
I've got 3 green, so I should be doing GGG boost. And then what?
And three P's.
And then 3 Ps.
How the
Lucky
hell do
I've
I
got
know
a-
which one is whose? Fuck.
Well, because it does a reply, so you'll see like the little reply with the name above the dice roll.
Ah.
So we're not going to worry about spending advantage on this. It's just if you succeed or not.
Sorry. I wanted to
Oh,
try
man.
it.
3 advantages
It
is all I got.
It worked so well. It worked so well last time.
Yes, so if you did not generate at least one success, you fall prone. Ooh, and the Ortolans did not generate at least one success. They all fall prone. Now for the captain. Okay, he's fine. And let's see, you did also roll a triumph. Is there anything you would like to spend that on?
What does the Triumph do?
It's like a crit.
Oh, so I could use it. Like the one sheet in the cheat sheet?
Yeah, well, except this isn't an attack. Actually, you know what? You wanted to give your allies an edge, and you did
Yeah.
roll a triumph, so we'll say that you could have given your allies an edge.
Can I give my allies an edge, please?
Yeah, so I know I said it went out over the PA, but I forgot to account for that triumph. So what we'll say happened instead is that it did not go out over the PA, it went out over people's like personal comm links. Because, you know, Anya knows what she was trying to do. So
Hopefully.
yeah. So we'll say that I should have done this before you guys rolled. Yeah, but with the triumph, we'll say that none of you guys fell over and only the Ortolans did.
Yay!
Sorry for making you all roll for that, but I totally forgot to account for that thing. So, yeah, don't worry about that.
Those who doubted me keep doubting me.
Okay, so these Ortolans have fallen prone. And they're freaking the fuck out. Alright, so it was Anya's turn.
That's
Now-
Violet's an idiot.
Leona and Tix, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, apparently I have the only rifle in production that has a range of medium, so I'm going to incur some strain, I guess, to get into medium range with these guys, and then fire down into them.
You shouldn't need to do that. You can just move over there.
Is it not two maneuvers to get between long and medium?
Yes, that's true. So you would need, yes. You don't have anything that gives you more range?
No.
Alright. Yeah, so then in that case, yes, you would need to do that.
I do that, and then I shoot them.
Alright. You're at medium range now, so make your shot. And actually, you know what? We'll say that you have a boost die, because you have the high ground.
I like it. What is that, B?
B. And you're at medium, so the difficulty is 2. Very nice. You hit, however you generate 2 threats, which I will be spending. So what's the damage on your weapon?
I believe it is 7.
Alright. And are you attacking the guys who just spilled back out of the door, or are you attacking the other group behind them?
That sounds like it'd be easier to hit the people in front, so the people spilling out of the door, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, sorry, what did you say the base damage was?
7?
7. Alright, so that is... Yeah, so you kill another Ortolan. There's now 1 left. And now for those 2 threats. Yeah, so this is not going very well for them. You hear all of the high-pitched screeching you would expect from these Ortolans who have, broken onto your ship, thinking that they were just going to storm the place and met with heavy resistance they were not expecting. And The other group that you did not shoot at are going to retreat back down the stairs. They get a free maneuver.
Okay.
This leaves the one Ortolan back up where you guys are.
Neat.
In fact, as they're retreating, you notice one Ortolan sort of sticks out. He's got like an eye patch, and you can very clearly see him giving the order to retreat.
Okay, I just want to lock eyes with that guy.
Oh yeah, you can't lock eyes
Lock
with him.
eye.
However, yeah, you can lock eye with him. Yeah, you look at him, he looks at you, and then he retreats. All right, Leona, what are you doing?
Eye patch guy is out of line of sight, right?
He has disappeared down the stairs. None of you can see him.
Would I be able to get close to the doorway and hop over the railing without using a second maneuver?
Well, you're up on the catwalk, if I recall.
Yeah.
You want to just get straight to the doorway?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think if you wanted to get there as fast as possible, you could jump from the catwalk, and as it happens, there is one stack too high, and then another one that's only stacked one high, that you think you could use to get down there safely as long as you're able to make the landing.
I'm a bird person. I don't need that to land safely.
That's true, you are a bird person. In that case, you can forget about that plan and just descend safely. So yes, you think you could use one maneuver to run the rest of the way over there because you ran halfway on your previous turn. And then you can just sort of drop down there, and that would put you right on top of the stairs. It's really more like a hatch, actually. We'll call it a hatch.
Alright. Can I see Eye Patch Dude from here?
Yes, you see him disappearing the rest of his way down the stairs.
I'd like to make him stop with a lot of violence included.
Alright, you can do it. You're shooting down the stairs, and which he just disappeared down, so actually he would be at, it's short range, so difficulty 1.
I have a long range weapon, this'll be fine.
Alright, and, are you shooting at the group of Ortolans he's with, or are you shooting at him?
I'm shooting at him. If it procs the auto fire property, can I extend that to the group?
If you want to be able to do that, you have to declare that beforehand.
And if I don't get enough advantages for auto fire, I'm assuming the first shot at the guy goes wide as well.
If you don't get enough advantages for auto fire, you still hit the first guy. However, using auto fire also makes the check harder, and if you miss, then you don't hit anyone.
How much harder?
It increases the difficulty by 1.
I'll risk it.
Alright.
Use a destiny die.
You can use the destiny die.
That gives you a boost.
I will do that.
Alright.
And
Alright.
let's... So my ranged heavy against difficulty 2, then a boost is a blue?
Yes, except it's not difficulty 2.
What
It
difficulty
is.
is it?
So because you're shooting at this guy, and he is a bit more special than the rest of these Ortolans, he upgrades the difficulty of the attack twice. So instead of PP, it is going to be RR.
I don't know how well this is going to go, but we'll see. I think I did that right. There it is.
You miss, unfortunately.
Well, damn.
However, you did generate 2 advantages. And although the only item qualities I think you can activate require you to hit, you could get a free maneuver.
Yeah, I'm going to use that maneuver to take cover. I'm assuming that they're going to leave a rear guard to buy time for the rest since they're being chased.
You think that's likely. Although, you also think the rear guard might be the one Ortolan who's still standing. From the other group.
I mean, I'm already wounded. It's going to be they leave a rear guard or they rely on that guy, and either way, I'm not in great condition if I get shot at.
Yeah. So you can take cover behind one of those shipping containers. Like, you know the way they ran to get out of Tix's line of sight? You can go the other way, and that'll accomplish the same thing, so that neither the ones down the stairs or the one remaining Ortolan will be able to see you.
I'll do that. I just need to get their attention and then not be shot at horribly and die embarrassingly.
Yeah, so you like tried to strafe them with a big like sweep of automatic fire, but your whole shot just went wide and you didn't hit any of them.
Turns out one-handing an M60 doesn't work too well while you're also falling.
No.
Looks cool though.
It did look cool. Unfortunately, it did not do anything. I think that is everybody except for the doctor. Does he want to do anything?
He wants to organize his
I don't have
cabinet.
anything to do. I'm waiting until combat is over.
Puts the kettle
Alright.
on.
Yeah, he's putting the kettle on.
Organizing the cabinets with doodly doos.
Alright, well, since that is the end of your turn, it is now their turns.
Oh, and he has more destiny dies than us.
I mean, I can only spend one at a time.
Each fight or each turn?
Each roll.
Each turn. No, it's each turn.
You sure? It says each check.
Oh, you're right. It is each check. Yeah.
Damn,
So I
you
can
only-
actually, yeah. Well, I can spend it for like one of each of my turns, pretty much, unless I'm making multiple checks in the same turn.
Damn.
So,
Why couldn't the DM be confused?
all right. Well, there is one of these Ortolans left, and
He's a destiny die.
let's see. You know what? Thanks to the efforts of Devati and the rest of the people who stormed their way down the stairs, instead of going out like a hero, he is going to chicken the fuck out and fall back down those stairs as well. So he is going to spend his action and maneuver to just go sprinting after those other guys. The rear guard that they tried to leave behind has broken.
Oh, so he's kind of like doing a Tom and Jerry move where he was there and then the next was a puff of smoke.
Yeah, just like a, just the
Zoom.
gunshot sound effect.
Does he have the 3-second wind up of just running in place?
Yeah, and then, the coconuts banging against each other, just like the... And then those guys down the stairs have gone out of sight, so you don't know what they're doing until you feel the ship sort of lurch upward slightly, as though it feels almost like the opposite of something bumping you from underneath.
Man the guns!
Should I say that or is he saying that?
I'm saying that over the comm link.
He can say that over the comm link.
As soon as
Fair
can I state as soon as I see them I'm gonna aim?
Well, that was the end of their turn, so if you would like it to be your turn, you can do that.
Yes, please. What do I do?
Alright, well, you're still at the helm, and sure enough, after he gives that call out over the comms, you see this other ship flying up and away at the bottom of your ship, and you can see that it is like trailing smoke in space from all the hits you did to it before.
What difficulty would it be for me to hit it?
It would be difficulty 2 because it is one size smaller than you. Yeah, you hit. And
Yo, I guess Star Wars bot likes me now. Star Wars board likes me. Star Wars bot likes me. I think I
Yep,
do.
so that will deal 9 damage against their armor. However, it generates 1 threat. What should I spend that on? Let's see, vehicle combat.
Damage their engine. Damage their engine.
No, it generates 1 threat, which I get to spend against you.
Oh.
So, unfortunately, the effort of in the effort of making that attack, you're not able to you're having to give
another?
the ship a ton of gas to move it at all because of all the damage to the engines. And that attack divides your attention enough that the ship comes to a complete stop.
Can I do a movement?
You can, however, if you want to move the ship, your movement would have to be to increase the throttle again.
No. Make a movement of my character.
Oh, yeah, where do you want to go?
Since after I finish firing, what do I see outside the window? Like, are they still running?
So they flew out from underneath you, and you were able to catch them as they went by, but after they did that, they went like directly above you and out of sight again. You can still see them on the ship's sensors, which is why you know where they are, but you can't see them like out the front of the ship.
Oh, well, actually, before I make my movement, then I'll ask the captain, since he's the captain. Should we follow, sir?
Follow? The hell are you talking about? The engines are busted.
Well, I don't know. Tell me.
You want to follow them?
Okay, then I'll say over the comms. Enemy is retreating. Repeat, enemy is retreating. Need assistance. We need assistance in the engineering bay. Engine room. Yeah. But I say that more better than what I just did.
So, what kind of weapons are those? Burning blue corpses hanging on to?
Oh my
Good
God.
question. They have light blaster pistols. For anybody who would like one, there are 3 light blaster pistols littering the floor of your cargo bay.
I shall take a light blaster
I'm
pistol.
gonna just zip line off the catwalk and grab me a pistol.
All right.
I could use one, but I don't need one.
I will say this is not the kind of game where you're going to have a ton of success just like collecting everything you find and just like selling it for cash. You can definitely do that, but you're not going to make a ton of money doing that.
It's like
Getting
a
your
weird
hands on
world.
a blaster is not difficult.
What's the
No.
I'm gonna
A child can get their hands on a blister.
call up to the captain and ask for the how the battle went. What was the injury count?
The captain is up there with you. You'd have to call to whoever went down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fortunately, we all have
Comms
comm links.
being like-
Fortunately, I believe all of you have comm links.
Yeah, so just to go over the comm links and anyone who's injured, please report to the medical bay.
Yeah.
Would it
And that's what I meant.
would it be possible to run towards the gunnery and keep firing at them as they leave?
Let me...
I think it would
So-
be pointless.
You could, but you don't think you would make it this turn. With only 2 maneuvers, you would not be able to make it all the way back to the bridge, because you're at the bottom of the stairs now.
Oh,
Unless you yourself can go light speed, you cannot.
Couldn't the captain man a gun and fire?
The captain could man a gun, however, it is not his turn yet.
I repeat, anyone with engineering, please report to the engine room.
There are no fucking engineers here.
Someone fix my goddamn engine!
Unfortunately, the captain is actually rather good at mechanics, as it happens.
I'm not
Oh.
an incompetent engineer, but I'm not a great mechanic. I'm also wounded, so I should probably head to the medbay as well.
Yeah, Anya,
Yeah,
as you,
But
Leona
As you
and Tix
see.
should probably head to medbay.
yeah, and Anya, as you make that call out, the captain is now going to head down into the cargo bay so that he can get to the engine room and make repairs.
Oops.
I'm totally fine.
yeah, I got shot. Tix didn't because Tix was out of range.
Oh, okay. I thought
I
2
don't know
people
how to-
got shot.
2 people got shot at. I was the only one that got hit.
Yes, I believe the only... Yes, go ahead.
This so he's headed over there to. This would be mechanics for the engine.
It would be mechanics for the engine.
Brinsk is going to head over there to assist him.
Yep.
I'm gonna head to the bridge.
So how bad are you hurt, Leona?
Yeah,
Oh,
as he's
boy.
making his way down, he brushes past you, and you're trying to follow him? Brinks?
Yeah, I'm headed with the captain to fix up the engines.
Yeah. You make it as far as, like, the door to the engine room, and he's like, no, I need you up on the guns. They haven't run away yet.
Brinks will shrug and head up towards the guns.
All right. Yeah, so... Let's see. Is anybody else doing anything who has not done something yet, or are you all just going back up to the bridge?
I'm heading
Yeah,
to
we'll
the
go
med
sit down
bay.
somewhere.
I'll head up to the
And
bridge.
be
If there's
lazy.
an empty gunnery station, because I'm like the first, because I just went there immediately, because not enough people went to the bridge, I'll take a shot at the retreating ship. I'm not very
mean-
good at it.
So you're all getting to the bridge at about the same time.
Oh,
I think
okay.
the people who actually no. So anybody who ran down to the bottom level of the cargo bay is going to get there last. So I think Tix would probably get there first, and then everyone else, because only Tix stayed up on the catwalk. I think.
No, I went down and looted that gun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So then in that case, you would all get there around the same time. But it would be like it would take you basically 2 turns to get there.
Well, then in the intermediate time, wouldn't Anya get another shot with the pilot gun?
Yes, Anya could get another shot with the pilot gun as the enemy ship, sure enough, wheels back around into sight and onto your fire arc.
Cece? Oh no, they've
Cece?
assassinated the pilot.
Oh no.
I want to sleep at the helm again.
The pilots vented out to head to engineering to assassinate the
I'm
captain.
I'm sorry. I'm
Anya
sorry.
vented.
It is alright. So, Anya, if you would like, you can make another attack.
Shoot the enemy ship.
Oh, on the ship? Oh,
Yes.
I mean, I guess, sure.
The one problem is that because the ship is now completely immobile, you're going to have a harder time, getting them onto
I
your
mean,
gun arc.
would it hurt our ship to do it?
No. Although, actually, it is your turn also. So you could, you can just use a maneuver to increase the throttle.
But our engines.
You can still do it. I mean, the ship is not completely immobilized.
Alright, can I do
You-
both?
Yeah, you can do both. One is a maneuver, and one is actually. Wait, am I wrong? I might be wrong. No, increasing the throttle is a maneuver, right? There's the
I don't know.
flying. It's somewhere.
I did not look up any of the piloting stuff.
And
Okay,
yeah.
I should know this stuff. Okay, yes, it's a maneuver. So you can increase the throttle with your maneuver and then attack with your action.
Okay, so my maneuver is me saying it, or do I have to roll the dice?
No, your maneuver is just you say it. You give the ship way more gas, and you're able to, just move enough that you can get the enemy ship onto your gun arcs. And now you can make your attack. However,
Would it be a higher difficulty, so 4Ps or 3Ps?
no. So it would have been a higher difficulty if you hadn't increased the throttle, but because you did, it's the same. However, the
Oh.
pilot of the enemy ship has taken evasive actions. So. Nope, that's the
Error.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm babysitting a 4-year-old, so it's.
You gross children.
I was about to say it's okay, I know the feeling, but that would be too mean even for me.
Oh shit! Sick burn, Pete.
Okay, so unfortunately you missed.
Okay.
And you did
So
jump the
can
gun
I-
a little, that was going to be difficulty 3, but it's okay.
So, alright, so as a trained pilot, do I know for a fact that no matter what we fucking do next, we won't hit them?
What do you mean?
Like, the next person's turn, like, if they are going, like, the next person that has gunnery is going to gun them, they won't actually do any damage at all.
No, they would have to. I mean, if they hit, you think they would do damage. You just missed.
I know. I don't know if I want to get up and. Can I put it on autopilot?
Well, you already used your maneuver in action, so what exactly are you trying to do? You can get another maneuver if you want.
I just want to put it on autopilot and get a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to put the ship on autopilot to go into atmosphere safely, you can do that. It will be slow because of the damage to your engine, but you can do that.
Wait, are pilots abandoning the post in the middle of fucking combat?
I mean,
never
it's
mind.
it's okay if she needs to go take care of something in real life. Shit happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking here.
Yeah. No, that's alright. That's alright. I'm gonna.
If you want to say that you'll just continue bringing the ship into
I will
atmosphere,
continue
that'll be
bringing the
fine.
ship into. Well, wait. That's the thing. Well, the captain basically said don't chase him. So yeah, I'll continue taking the ship into atmosphere to try and dock.
He's preparing the
On
engine
the
so we
planet.
can chase him. After them.
Oh, is he? I don't remember.
That's not what he said to you. Devati can believe whatever he wants.
That's what I'm telling you right now.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. Then I guess chase that. Wait, do I know him well enough to trust him?
I'll leave that up to you.
Do you know him well enough to not trust him?
See, I didn't hear the captain say that, and the captain just said our engines are fucked. So I'm gonna just go to the ship. So.
He specifically exclaimed, "You want to chase after them?" As if he thought you were crazy.
This is
And
also
I'm
the
not
captain.
crazy.
This is also the captain that you were willing to shoot not even 20 seconds ago.
Anyway, I will follow what the captain said and go down to the planet because this guy can fucking shut up. Because I'm not crazy. I mean, I may be a little crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
A real Corellian would chase after them.
Yeah, but I'm not stupid. Also, is it
Alright.
Corellian or Sorelian?
Corellian.
Corellian.
Uh,
How are you going to earn your stripes like that?
So, Anya is continuing to bring the ship towards the planet of Delang. The rest of you have, like, you're all halfway towards the bridge. What do you want?
wait a minute. I'm sorry. I just remembered something.
Mm-hmm.
Since we had the ship on our scanners and docked us, is it possible that we have a good scan of said ship? So where if we go into the planet, we can say this and this ship attacked us with this and this people on it. Be on the lookout. Blah 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 blah. Blah.
So the way that works, I don't know if any of you have seen the
I haven't seen Star Wars in a while.
Okay, so it's not like a license plate where you can just look at the other ship and just see it. What they have instead of a license plate is a transponder code, which is like
Did we get their transponder code?
So a transponder code is really less like a license plate. It's more like a vehicle identification number, where it's like an integral part of the ship that is very difficult to remove. And it's also illegal to remove. Yeah, huge pain in the ass.
Yeah. That's what those people did in Mandalorian. They
say like, oh, transmit your responder code.
Yeah.
So
but they have to do that willingly.
Yeah, they have to do that willingly unless you have the kind of equipment that lets you hack into other people's ships, which I don't think you have.
We probably don't.
So you would have to ask nicely, is what I'm saying.
You say that you don't think we have it. Devati, can you convince the GM that we do?
Not with this character.
I don't remember giving you the ability to buy a slicing suite for the ship, no.
For the ship, no, but my alternate character does have a slicing suite.
Yeah, well, you would have Slicer's tools, and you can. A slicing suite is basically a set of Slicer's tools, which is really just a fancy computer that has been integrated into the ship so that you can hack into other ships. However, as far as I know, none of you paid for that.
Correct.
In fact, I don't think I gave you the opportunity to pay for that.
No. I have a personal one, not a ship one.
Give us the opportunity, so we should just get one for free.
To be fair, it's very expensive. I don't think you would have been able to afford it.
No, I know we wouldn't.
Everybody make new characters, take 15 obligation with maximum funding, and buy nothing.
Oh, you bastards. Alright, so the rest of you are all halfway to the bridge. What do you all do?
I'm going to the med bay.
Hauling ass.
Do I smell coffee?
Yeah, I'm making a hot brew.
I don't see him online right now, so no.
I'm going to the bridge.
Yeah, I go to the bridge, and I do nothing at all to help. I just watch.
Okay, so you would all spend like the rest of your turns getting to the bridge.
Yeah, because didn't you say the pirate ship was wheeling about and resuming an attack against us?
Yes, you think the pilot ship? No, the pirate ship is probably going to make another attack as it continues to wheel around.
Oh.
I mean, it hasn't run away. It's just been trying to keep out of sight of the main gun arcs. Not always successfully, but mostly.
I gotta get close enough for them to shoot us too. So.
Yeah, you were able to get a shot off, but you missed.
Yeah.
So can we get to the gunnery this turn?
You can get to the gunnery, but you would have to think.
Would we have to take some strain to do the double maneuver to get there?
Yes, you would have
I'd
to take
take
strain to
strain.
do the double maneuver.
Sure. Before they get on the guns, can I... I'll take the strain to also go to them with the bridge.
Mhm.
And can I attempt that leadership check again to give them boost dies on their gunnery?
Yes.
What is the difficulty for this?
The difficulty is going to actually. Let's see what exactly. Oh, it's upgrade. Okay. The difficulty is going to be PR because they have taken evasive actions.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. What were you? Are you using the gun, Devati?
No, I'm using leadership to give boost dice to Aiden and Tick so that they have boost dice for their gunnery checks because you don't want me to shoot the ship's guns. I probably won't hit ourselves with it.
Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, we'll say that 1 purple and 1 red is the equivalent to 3 purple, which is what it should have been. I got confused about what you were trying to do.
Okay. Well, I got 2 successes. Don't know what the despair's going to do.
So you have 1 triumph and 1 despair, so that's a crit success and a crit failure, which you can have both of on the same roll in this game.
Evidently.
Yes, evidently. So you are able to give a boost die to both of them.
Okay.
Now, what would you like to spend the triumph on?
The triumph? Well, it says I can give for 2 advantage, I can give to any allied character's next check another boost die, so I'm going to give that to Tix. So he should have 2 boost dice then on his next gunnery check.
Neat.
That's the 2 advantages. And then the triumph I'll use to do the same for Aiden. So they both now have 2 boost dice to use.
Very nice.
I believe you get to pick the despair, though.
And now I get to pick the despair. And what shall I spend it on? Alright, let's see. It would have to be an attack for me to use that one. Oh, I could use this in a way that's... Yeah. No, I won't do that. I'm not that evil. I'm not going to make the ship suffer a minor collision. No, we will upgrade the difficulty of the next allied character's check. So now whoever's manning the guns, which I think is going to be Branks and Trix.
I thought it was Aiden and Trix.
Aiden and whoever's
I don't
manning
know.
the guns.
I don't know why I ended up buffed or I ended up as either of the two because I'm not either of the 2 people manning the gun.
Wait, who are the 2 guys on the guns?
Brinks.
Branks
Brinks and Aiden, I think.
Okay, then I was upgrading Branks and Aiden,
Yes.
not. Sorry, I thought Tix was the guy on the bridge with me with the guns. My bad.
Alright. So you buffed those 2. We'll say that you did not buff Trix. Or Trick? Oh my god, I'm going to say that now.
Tix.
Fuck.
Breathe.
Alright. So, yeah, it is your turn now. You can make your gunnery attacks.
So I'm looking at a GGG BPR.
BB.
Oh, BBPR.
Yeah, you each got
BB.
2 boost dice out of that.
Yes.
All right, GGG.
No, I'm sorry. It's not PR. It's RR because we upgraded the difficulty for you an additional time.
Okay.
I mean, never mind.
Unfortunately, Brinks misses. However, he generates 3 advantages.
Yeah, I got maneuvering them into the firing arc.
Yeah, you can do that. me see, what exactly would that do?
Spin the ship with
It
He just
recoil.
like fires in front of him and forces him to turn.
Yeah. I fire in an area to get them to go into a different spot that's easier for, I don't know, Aiden to shoot.
No, yes, you can do that. You don't hit them. However, your fire forces them to fly into an advantageous position for the next attack.
But pressing fire seems to be a Mandalorian specialty.
Aiden, open fire!
So, do I get a third boost?
Actually, rather than stacking boost die, we'll say that you get an upgrade from that. Just for fun. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the difficulty is going to be PR. And now we wait.
Insert dial-up tone here.
There's the beeping noise of the targeting computer trying to get a lock.
Oh no, he also missed despite all of that. Alright, well you have 3 advantage to spend. What do you want to spend it on? Since that was your last attack, might I recommend making it harder for them to hit you?
I'll do that.
Alright. So what you can do is, let's see, with 3... Well, they would probably aim, so what we'll do is we'll say that negates their aim. Like, they're gonna spend their maneuver to aim as they normally would, but they're not gonna get anything out of it. And now it is the other ship's turn to attack you, after you unfortunately missed them twice.
We've
Nope.
maneuvered them to very advantageous firing arcs.
Yes.
This will pay dividends soon.
Well, you maneuvered them to an advantageous firing arc. Unfortunately, Aiden was not able to take advantage of it, and they have flown out of, sight of the front of the ship again. And now they're behind you guys.
Yeah, while I was sprinting, that strain kind of strained my wrist because I fell against the wall. Just made it hard to aim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quick draw on a flamethrower will do that to the wrist.
Now I'm going to spend a destiny point to make them better at this. And they are going to make their attack. On which they succeed. And they hit the back of the ship with a volley of missiles. The back of the ship, also known as the engineering section,
Where the captain is.
where the captain is. As a result of this hit, combined with the
Anyway.
damage that the ship has already sustained, you feel a massive impact accompanied by the sound of a very loud explosion. Alarms begin going off throughout the ship, and Anya at the helm, you receive a warning that the ship has sustained major damage to the aft section, and that you are losing air.
Well, okay. Can I push a button to seal off all openings?
You
Oh
definitely-
wait, yeah. Can I shut a door and cut off circulation in one room?
So you can do that. The question is, do you actually? You know what? This is a ship, so we'll call it a difficulty 3 piloting check to do this very rapidly in the moment. Piloting is not just for piloting; it's also for ship knowledge.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
what
make
well, my knowledge is what I've seen off television, and there's a scene where they close a door and they let all the air, they seal that door shut to where all the air in just that room leaves. I
Yes.
think it was in Doctor Who.
So, in the event of a hull breach like this, that is absolutely something that you have the ability to do from the helm. The question is, can you remember how to do it and execute that quickly enough for it to have the most impact possible?
Would that
So-
begin piloting?
It would be piloting, and it would be difficulty 3. So make your roll.
Crossing my fingers.
Oh yes. So
Yes,
you
bad
are,
or yes, good.
well, you made 5 successes, which is a very strong success.
But
So we'll get to the but. So first, what you're able to do is you are able to trigger the emergency blast doors that close. They let's see, what exactly would they close off? It obviously closes off the engineering section, and
I kill the captain.
we'll get to that.
I
I'm just trying to think about what am I going to spend that threat on. So yes, you're able to close off the main part of the breach. However, as a result of those 3 threats, what you were not able to close off is some additional damage that has been sustained by the cargo bay itself. So the ship is still losing air, and this is not something you could prevent by closing doors.
Oh.
Additionally, as a result of that impact you just sustained, the whole ship is sort of rotating. Like, the impact was so powerful, and the ship wasn't going very fast, that you're sort of drifting in a spin almost. And as you continue to spin, you can now see behind where you just were, where you see the tail section of the ship floating away.
Spinning, though, means that the enemy should end up at our arcs at some point. With a little luck.
You know, this was a pretty neat trick.
Yeah, you see them.
Ew, us
You see them in your
or-
arcs, where they are now hauling ass away from you.
Oh, okay, so they're running away. Good. Whew, at least I'm not coming back.
Do not let them get away.
Fire volleys.
So I ended up playing the captain.
Blaster go blam blam.
All right. Well, actually, here I should specify this first. The ship is losing air, and let's see, with 5 successes and 3 threats, we'll say that you have. Unless
Tell
you
me
were,
I killed the captain.
Oh, the captain is. The last you saw of the captain, he was going into the tail section of that ship, which got hit by a volley of missiles and is now floating through space.
So I killed the
Yeah.
captain.
I will.
Well,
Yeah.
I will
didn't
leave it
help
up to
his
you to
situation.
assign blame.
Let me assign blame to myself. I killed the captain.
okay, I'm gonna see if I can find like an oxygen mask or anything lying around. We got
That's
some
the kind of thing
emergency-
the ship would have for safety reasons. You can all find 1 each for each of you.
Excellent.
Okay. I shall grab one. After I inform the crew, we're losing oxygen, get a mask, stat.
Yeah, you think unless you're able to find the source of the leaks, you have about 15 minutes worth of air, according to the ship's computer.
So Anya will get up off the
Keep
pilot
shooting!
and No, fuck you. I'm not dying.
If they come
I'll-
back
I'll
and we
shoot
don't
from
shoot them, we are going to die regardless.
I'll take a couple pot shots. They'll be gone in a second anyway.
Yeah, if they
Bring
come
Skull
back,
open
that's
fire
not our
as well.
choice.
So would that count as my leadership again there? Just, telling them to keep firing? We're dead if they come back?
You can keep firing, however, actually in here I'll repost it for you.
I assume they're out of range, but yeah, I'll take a minute and keep firing at them.
Unfortunately, they are at medium range.
Ah.
Yes.
So
So, that,
open fire?
you can open fire as much as you want, and you will not have to roll for it.
Okay.
Sounds great. DACA. Lots more DACA.
Oh, like
Okay.
it's actually impossible to hit them?
Yes.
Yes,
it is
they're in
impossible.
Right,
medium range,
they are
range
too far
of
away.
weapons.
Get me closer, I want to hit them with my sword.
We will be really easy to see, and it'll be obvious that we're still shooting.
So is this the part where I ask, where was the reactor in the ship?
That is a good.
It was in engineering, right?
It was in engineering, so
Which is
actually,
currently
yeah.
floating away from us.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, the ship is robust enough that is not enough to completely cripple it. you would have gone on to the reserve power supply, which is in the main body of the ship in case something like this happens.
Right, because this model of ship was known for breaking in half suddenly.
No, but it's, in case something fails.
I know, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Because you said in case of something like this happened. Like, yes, because the ship's breaking in half is normal.
Yeah, the redundancy allows the ship to not be completely crippled by losing half.
Yeah, we're probably not going to Nar Shaddaa in this one, boys.
Why? I mean, we can just.
We are
handle it.
missing
We don't have half a ship.
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
missing our engineering.
We are still
quarter.
flying half a ship, and we can probably.
We still have half the cargo.
probably
Hey,
drift.
he said the meme.
Huh?
Wait, what did he say?
We're still flying half a ship.
Yeah. That's Halo,
as long
right?
as we can solve this.
Halo
Halo 3,
episode
yeah.
3 of Star Wars. They're crashing the dreadnought at the opening scene.
As long
Oh,
as
it
we can
just
solve
made me
the
think of Halo
oxygen
3.
issue, we can probably land. We're just not going to go much further than that on this.
So, about that, you think without the engines, you would actually have a very hard time landing safely.
I didn't say the word safely. Did anybody
true.
hear me say the word?
I did not hear any word that started with an S, much less safely.
You don't think you're in a stable orbit right now, so
I prefer landings I can walk away from. In this case, I'll accept not being able to reuse the spacecraft.
I heard severely.
I
How many
will point out
seatbelts are there?
there are also escape pods.
Okay, well then that's perfect. I'd like to be closer
Won't
to the
let
planet
go with
before I
the
use that,
Empire
but that's
hearing.
fine.
Yeah, how do we get closer to the planet?
We're
Is
kind
there a
of
way to boost
drifting
ourselves?
generally that direction, hopefully.
You're
I
not
heard we're not
They
in.
shot us in the ass and we were facing the planet, so maybe generally in that direction.
I heard we're
Yeah.
not in stable orbit. That would imply that we're in an unstable orbit, which means gravity is going to do all the work for us.
It
Easy
sounds
job.
like we should just get into the escape pods.
Hey,
No, hold on. It depends on the orbit. How unstable is our orbit? How long do we have before we re-enter this planet's atmosphere?
You think you would suffocate before that.
Okay.
yeah, we are going to run out of oxygen.
So, but we have time. We have like 15 minutes of air, I think you said, with these bottles.
Oh, no, that's like the ship itself. With the bottles, you have like an hour.
Right.
Oh.
So we don't
So-
need to rush. We should loot the ship before we, abandon it.
Loot the medbay,
Yeah.
loot the armory, grab what we can carry.
Yeah, take all the valuables. Make sure we get a copy of the sensor data with us so that, because while yes, ships do have the transponder code, they would also have their EM emissions as well
Well,
as their drive signatures.
The cargo
yeah,
bay
which would
also
be-
has some breaches, correct?
The cargo bay has been breached.
So how
And-
safe is it going to be to traverse the cargo bay if we were going to be looting, really?
So you think the breach is minor enough that you would not just Actually, this is a really good question, and I'm not a physicist, unfortunately.
This is Star Wars.
Star Wars logic is fine. It doesn't have to be.
So the fact that it would take 15 minutes to decompress the entire ship means that it will merely be very loud, but not just instant death the second you set in there or set foot in.
It's probably foggy.
Yeah, probably foggy. It's noticeably colder because all the heat is escaping.
Is there a vault on the ship or a safe on the ship or something like that?
Probably in the captain's quarters.
Not that you know of. I mean, the captain had stuff.
Well, it's not like... Is there an escape pod in the section he is in?
No. The escape pods, there are two of them. They are in the bottom level of the ship in the docking bay.
Okay. Well, I'd like to go to the captain's quarters and see what valuables he had.
Yep, the
I would
captain's
like to
quarters is
follow
just
him.
one of the rooms. It's all the way at the end of the living quarters.
If
I'm
they're
following him.
If they're off doing that, Brinks is going to download our data from the nav computer.
Wait, I already said I did that.
Oh, you did?
I downloaded the whole database, I thought I said.
What are you downloading it to?
Oh shit, that's right, we don't have... Do you have a data
I
slate,
believe
Brinks?
the doctor has a data pad.
I'm pretty sure I do as
The
well.
doctor does have a data pad.
All right, one of you should
Oh, wait,
needs to
he
grab
uses-
the data. I don't actually have one.
He's just been reading this whole time.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yes, the doctor has been reading this whole time, yes.
Doc knows his medroom better than I do. I can take a data pad to the bridge while he loots the medbay quick.
Well, if Branks already has one, then yeah, Branks can do the computer. And I'll go loot the captain's quarters.
I'm following.
Guess I'll go get
Loot the medbay.
yeah.
Do we know what was in
Yeah,
the
the med bay
cargo
and everything.
containers?
You think so? You would all have like a vague awareness of what's in the cargo containers. It's a lot of construction materials. There's some grain in there. Some other stuff like bulk medical equipment for like hospitals.
The cargo containers are too large to get onto the escape pods. We can
We
worry
did-
about that as a salvage operation later.
How long would it take, if I was going to guess, to get? Because we did launch a distress beacon. So how
Sure.
long is the transit time from the planet to where we are, roughly, for somebody who just heard that, if they needed to scramble?
So Delang is a bit of a backwater. It is a regional trade hub, which is the only reason you're here, but it's also a backwater. Now, the fact that it has taken so long for anyone to arrive, such as like the Empire, for example, after you put out that distress beacon, would suggest either like incompetence or corruption. You think if you were somewhere nicer, they would have been on you in like minutes.
Can I investigate the breach?
The
Maybe see
breach would be in the cargo bay.
Available?
What exactly are you trying to do?
I don't know. See if I can just seal it or.
Well, there's a crane. We might be able to put a cargo container on it.
All right, well, how are you going to determine where the breach is?
Go down to the cargo bay and then just going?
Well, so I should clarify, this is not like a huge gaping hole in the ship. This is like minor damage to
needle holes.
Cracks.
Yeah.
So,
if it
if
were a
there's-
gaping hole in the ship, this would be a very different situation.
I'm
Can I make
not-
a survival or perception check to try and find it?
This would be mechanics.
To
I'm
try and
not
find it?
there, but
Yes.
could I pitch an idea?
This we'll get to you in a second, but in order to find this, it would rely heavily upon your understanding of the ship's structural sort of composition for you to know where those kinds of breaks could occur.
What difficulty would that be?
It would be 4 because you're essentially working blind. Like these breaks are not visible at all.
Hairline fractures.
Pretty much.
Well, I only got 2G, so I don't think I can do that.
Can I do something?
In,
What do you
in
wanna do?
theory, it's possible.
Please.
What do you want to do?
I would like to do my turn. I would like to, of course, have the oxygen mask on.
We're
Collect.
not in Inish anymore, so there's no turn. But what do you want to do?
Well, I'd like to. Well, we all have our own rooms. I would like to first go to my own room, get all of my stuff, and
Mhm.
then head to the captain's quarters. And I probably will meet Davati there,
No, I'm already
or while
inside.
he's leaving. Well, I'll probably come across him already inside.
Yeah, I'm assuming you've all masked up by now. You've all got a little oxygen tank on you.
Yeah. So, what do we see inside the captain's quarters?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not actually think to give him stuff, even though he totally would have stuff. So let's just make it up on the spot. He had a weapon. Unfortunately, he took it with him.
Reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable.
Charts, maps.
That would all be in the ship's computer. We-
Which
you would
Bryce
not-
is dealing with. Yeah, it's more. I came back here to see if he had any like money.
Yeah, he would definitely have
Money.
money.
How was his fashion sense?
Yeah.
His fashion sense was okay. I mean, he was no Han Solo, but you know, it was okay.
What does it have? Like I don't know. Does he have a jacket? Does he? Have,
If
does
he had a
have
jacket,
any,
he would have died wearing it.
Does he have any patches? Like any patches? Like
If he
does
would,
he work for the?
It would have been
resistance?
Those
on
would
his
have been on the
jacket,
jacket.
which he died wearing.
Well, anything hidden. I don't know.
All
I
right,
think
let
you would
me-
hide the fact if you're Empire scum.
We're gonna make this a checklist.
Empire scum. I think you have your quote there a little backwards. It's rebel scum.
Hey, this is a different era. You
Empire-
can say Empire scum if you want.
Shut up.
Oh god, I can't remember if there's a.
Rebel scum.
Because if there's nothing
Streetwise check?
that like, if
Yeah,
there's
I'm-
nothing shiny, I'd probably be like, or any gun, anything, then I'd probably go directly to the ejection seat and get the fuck out.
All right, there. So I think you're referring to the escape pod. But first, people are
Yeah.
trying to find stuff in his room, so let's handle that. So this will be. I will let you pick either perception or streetwise, and only streetwise because that would rely on like your understanding of where you think a shady space captain would hide things.
Right, exactly.
Who? Me or him?
Me.
Your knowledge of looting people.
Can I do it too?
And I'm going to use a destiny die on this.
Go right ahead. And like, don't hesitate to use those. I've been using a lot.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty, we'll say, is just 3.
What?
Just 3.
Yes, you are able to find some money. You find, like, you're not able to tell if you had like a secret stash. Or actually, no. Well, that would have.
It was a streetwise check. I was looking for like his secret stash specifically.
Yeah, you were looking for a secret stash, so that's what you'll find. I don't know what CC is rolling.
I don't know either.
I want to find something too.
All right. Well, you only get to make one roll.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what did he have in his secret stash?
What he had in his secret stash, we will just say, is another 500 credits.
Okay. Did he have
And
any? Did he have like a data pad full of like, say, black market contacts or anything like that?
Not that you find.
Okay.
That would be something you would have had to spend advantage on.
I don't know.
Fair
Any
enough.
leftover comms?
500 credits and an embarrassing photo of SpongeBob at the Christmas party.
Yeah. You. Oh my god. You think if he had anything like that, it was probably on his person.
I mean, makes sense, but I figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
Actually, can you get spare comms? Is there any spare comms on the ship?
What do you mean? Comlinks? You should all have them.
Yeah. No, but can you get spares?
You don't have spares. You could buy one if you go to a place where you could buy
They're
things.
dirt cheap.
There are other things on the ship that are not just counted among your stuff. You could find like structural scanners, toolkits. There would be like one communal toolkit if just for like use in. Although actually no, he would have brought that with him. That would not be there. But you would be able to find like a structural hand scanner.
Ration
hand
packs.
scanner, what does that do?
Yes, there would be rations. Let's see, how many rations would be appropriate? We'll say that there was
10.
one for each of you.
Oh.
Plus one for the captain.
Alright,
which he
I'm
did
gonna
not
take
take.
it. Wait a minute. Actually, I'm an idiot. Fuck the captain's quarters. I changed my mind. I want to go to the med bay.
You can go to the med bay. The doctor is in.
Yeah, I want to steal some medicine. Medicine's expensive.
I will leave that up to him as to whether you were able to steal any medicine, because the
Well,
medicine
if
that
it's
you
his
have
medicine,
is his.
never mind. But well, there's nothing that the captain provided the doctor.
I'm going to say no,
What if-
mostly because I know the doctor spent a lot on medical supplies.
Alright, since we got people scrambling around the ship,
Is there a
Bryce-
crash survival kit?
Oh yeah.
wouldn't those be located inside of our escape pods?
Hope so.
You're getting that out of the book, AGR?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not really using those. I did give you actually. You raised a good point though. Is that you would have stuff for like surviving on a hostile alien world. There's a tent that you can use in case of that. I think one of you already has a fusion lantern.
I do.
Yeah. Fusion lantern is really useful. Provides heat, light, power. There's like fusion cutters.
All right. Brinks, since it sounds like Aiden's trying to figure out the hall situation, Anya and Devati are looting. Tix is off. You got the medical person there, and Leona is downloading the nav computer. Branks is going to hop on the sensor suite
Mm-hmm.
and try to plot a good landing site for our escape pods.
Ow.
Do the escape pods themselves both seem to be in decent shape? And what is the capacity of each one?
The escape pods do not appear to be damaged at all, and you think you could all fit into one of them. They hold like
Okay.
10 people each.
We should probably
How
just
much would
take
an
one.
escape pod?
If there's any emergency gear, I'd like to take all of the spare emergency gear from the one we're not going to use, put it all in the one we are
Yeah.
going to use.
Yeah, well,
gonna
since there are two
follow
escape
him.
pods, we'll say that.
I could also just like set them both to land at the same site.
Yeah, we'll say that each one has like a tent in it. So if you wanted to bring 2 tents. And actually, let me think, what else would be in there?
Probably some food, a basic med kit, the fusion lantern.
Yeah, actually, there would be a med kit in each one. There wouldn't be a fusion lantern because the escape pod itself can provide power.
So, Pete, do you want us to itemize these things, or do you want to hand wave them?
I'm
Because
sort of trying to hand wave them.
I'm
Yeah, this
very
Okay.
happy to
feels
hand
like-
Yeah,
wave
we can just hand wave it.
I
Then.
would like
Yeah.
to note that I am doing the thing and then never speak of it again.
Yeah.
This game really wants you to hand wave inventory stuff as long as it doesn't pertain to things that you like really need, because like,
Right.
you may have noticed that your inventory space is a little bit limited in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will say
What's-
if you need any like thing in particular that you think is reasonable for you to find there, then you can have that.
Pete, what does the sensor suite tell me about like crash sites?
Crash sites.
Yeah, like where we're gonna set down the escape pods.
Well, the escape pods do not just like drift down. You can control them a little bit.
Right, right. I'm trying to use this ship's sensor suite though, in order to get a good idea of where we should be aiming.
Ah, yes.
You know, for example, I would definitely not want to pilot this into a crowded urban environment, and I also don't want to put it in literal bumfuck nowhere in the Dune Sea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's
Especially
no-
not the building.
Aim
there's
for the
no
polar
DMC
caps.
yet. Okay, so I will explain. The first of all, you think you're close enough because of where you came in that you could actually land at this planet's like one major habited place, which is like the spaceport that's on this planet. You think you could go almost directly there.
We should go like a mile out just so we don't hit anything important.
Yeah, if I'm able to pick a super rural area there, but close to the populated settlement,
Mhm.
I'd like to get that set up in the escape pods computers.
Yeah. You also think it's likely that you won't actually land in the escape pod. You think what will probably happen is that when you begin to come into low orbit near this major population center, you'll probably just get picked up by someone. Because like usually when you do that, that's when you have to start like communicating with ground control. And so they would notice that like, oh yeah, that ship that sent out a distress signal is now sending out an escape pod. We should probably go do something.
If they haven't reacted yet, I'm not going to put much stock in them reacting in the time it takes our
Precisely.
escape pod.
There
to
is
hit the
also
ground.
that theory.
Yeah,
So-
precisely.
I've got a long-range comlink.
Mm.
Have I not been hearing any ATC type traffic?
Ooh, that's a good. So you're a little bit too far out still. Like when you came out of hyperspace, you were on your way like into orbit, but you didn't actually make it there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so you're not quite close enough for that yet.
Wait. What does Branks know about this world?
Ah, well, I was going to save this for later, but there is a blurb.
I like blurbs.
This covers information on the planet itself and the port of Delang, which is its spaceport.
So
Actually, here, I'll read it. Delang is a humid terrestrial world whose surface is dominated by vast gray-green wetlands. The planet's favorable location at the juncture of the Corellian Run and Hut space makes it an important hub for trade, and this convenience has allowed other enterprises to prosper as well, most notably chemical processing and shipbreaking. Its singular major city, the port of Delang, is a sprawling, smog-choked mass of refineries, spaceports, and scrapyards, with a patchwork of slums to stitch it all together. While the commercial district is kept safe enough for off-world traders to do business, the port has a well-earned reputation as a den of thieves and gangsters.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to make a lot of money off this wreck that we're about to leave.
Do you think it's likely?
As soon as we're out of here, it's no longer a rescue; it's salvage. That's
They're
why
like
they're
vultures.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a salvage no matter what.
All right. Yeah, definitely then Brinks is going to pick a location that is not a refinery, spaceport, or scrapyard as our landing zone.
What do you mean? Are you landing in the wild, or are you just... You're trying not to crash into anything?
I am trying to avoid having us crash land right into the middle of, stuff that's expensive and might interfere with local interests.
You can do that. You think that you would be able to land in a safe location that will not destroy any buildings or cause the escape pod to explode.
I'm guessing this is going to be one of the wetlands.
Yeah, just outside the city.
So I had a thought for the cargo bay, and it might be late. There was a mist, right?
Yeah,
If
slight
sort of
mist.
Could who went down there, Tort? Could they look for where the mist is being pulled out of the hull and like the sort of irregular mist pattern? That would imply that there's a hairline fracture there with lower pressure on the other side of the hull.
You think you could try. It would still be difficulty 4, though.
Yeah. Would Tort use like perception instead of mechanics?
Yes, it would be perception if you were to do that.
The blurb kind of gives me the impression that even if we were to repair the ship long enough for someone to come and rescue us, they aren't exactly going to respect any claim we have over the ship's wreck.
You think it is very likely that something like that would happen.
So, whereas landing on the surface gives us a bit more options that way. We're not quite at their mercy.
Maybe.
Less so.
Less so. I mean,
What I'm getting at is we should take everything we can in the escape pod and we should get out of here. I don't think it's worthwhile trying to repair the ship at this point.
No, it's not repairing ship. It's just buying time for everyone else to finish looting.
It's a small ship. I don't think we have much more to loot.
I don't think you've done anything that would take more than an hour. You still have time. Actually, while you're mulling that over, I need to go use the bathroom.
So let's see. The captain's quarters, the cargo hold's too big. The med bay's been looted.
The
Captain's
cargo-
quarters been looted.
The cargo hold is full of building supplies. I wonder if there might be any heavy equipment in there. I mean, it's not usable. We can't take it on the escape pod, but I'm curious.
Do you think we'd be able to like vent it and have it land closer to our escape pods than the ship would, so that we can then go pick through it and mark it up as salvage?
Are you suggesting dropping kinetic orbital bombardment on our landing position?
It would hit the ground before we will.
Would it? The ship's in a unstable orbit. The escape pod's going to have some motive abilities.
But we don't have to fire off the escape pods and then...
I don't think any of that stuff is going to survive impact.
All right, then let's do it. Just to keep it out of the hands
Can
of
we
the greedy.
please get out of the falling
Rough.
ship?
Guys,
There is something to be said for just making everyone else's lives more difficult because they didn't do anything to help us.
True, we could aim the crashing ship at the spaceport.
that
I don't-
might not be wise.
I don't think we can aim the ship without our engines or a reactor.
After all, if we take out the spaceport, how are we going to get off of this
Well, I mean,
heel of a world?
Good point.
what if we sabotage the other escape pod because it has some maneuverability and use it to push the ship into position to hit the
We just strap the escape pod to the docking bay and then just fire its engines as an emergency thruster.
Yeah.
But why though?
Well, I mean, it was more just
Spite?
spite,
Pure
yeah,
spite.
pure spite against the people who did nothing to aid us when we were being attacked by pirates.
They allowed an attempt on our lives, and their inaction directly caused the death of the captain. I'd consider that an act of aggression.
Having the ship intact and free to salvage, though, might be more useful.
To who?
It would divert manpower away from these more salvage-inclined groups off of the planet. Additionally, a hardy salvage might do a lot to, I should say, tide their finances over. Make ourselves look more easy to overlook as targets.
Well, you know, that's actually a thing. We could fill the other escape pod with basically anything we think we can sell once we get
Grain.
to town. Yeah.
Foodstuffs always sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should do that, and then just have it, aim for the same landing zone.
He mentioned that at least one of the cargo crates had bulk medical supplies. Could look into that too.
That would be highly valuable, but probably valuable enough that we might get shot.
Well, we'll
I
have
mean-
to get off this ball sooner or later, so.
They probably don't know what we have. They're just going to see 2 escape pods going.
And no life forms aboard one of them.
We could take both of them then. So
I
let's
can go on the other.
I am back.
Well, that's just it. We'd take both escape pods down to the planet with what we can. We don't want to strip too much of the valuable goods out of the ship, though, because if it makes a enticing enough opportunity for the less noble individuals on this planet, it should work as a nice distraction, economically speaking.
We could also booby trap the ship.
What we can fit into roughly an escape pod and a half is not going to make a noticeable dent in the value of salvage of the ship.
Precisely. We take what we can, we
Mhm.
leave the rest. Let the vultures pick it apart.
Sure.
All right. Well, you have 1 hour, and you've already spent part of it.
Right.
Alright.
We grab all our supplies, put them all in one escape pod, and then in the other escape pod, we'd like to fill it up with like the most valuable cargo the ship's got.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's bulk medical supplies.
Yeah, there would be other stuff besides.
Well, what's the most valuable like per unit volume?
Yeah.
Like we have an official trade manifest, right?
You do.
Right. So we'd be able to kind of judge, concrete probably not worth taking. Grain might be. Bulk medical supplies might be. If there's cold pressed latinum, we'll take that.
Yeah. So you think the medical supplies would probably be like the most valuable thing in there?
Okay. So we'd like to fill up the other escape pod with those medical supplies, since we're targeting them to land in the same spot as us.
Yeah. It's only one container that's in. That's like sort of one of the things that stands out a little bit.
And I'll go in that escape pod just so that there is life signs aboard if they do get scanned and atmospheric entry.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you guys crack open that cargo container full of medical supplies, and you find medical supplies. It's like it's not so much medical supplies as it is like medical devices, like the big kind. Like
They're MRI machine parts.
yeah, I don't want to
That's
say
fine.
anything specific because it'll
It's
be like
space.
it's space shit. However, there's also one thing in here that stands out. Towards the back of the inside of the container, there is a slab-shaped object covered by a tarp.
Oh God, was he
Ooh.
smuggling spice?
Probably.
All right.
Take the tarp off.
I want to see it.
Yeah, we take the tarp
All
off.
right, you remove the tarp. Underneath is a slab of carbonite with a human frozen inside of it.
Man, it sucks to suck.
Get
How-
that in the escape pod.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put him in my escape pod.
Interesting.
How much would those medical parts sell for? More than like foodstuffs or
Mm. So out here, it would be hard to find a buyer for them, but you think if you could, they would be pretty valuable.
could split it like half and half? Sell foodstuffs here for some immediate money and keep the medical supplies for an investment later.
Your call.
I think we can probably afford to take whatever we can get for this stuff, to be honest.
The medical devices are pretty big. Like, if you're going to take as much from that cargo container as you can, you're going to fill up an entire escape pod and still have some left over.
I think that's fine.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're saying. And then
We
we
can,
can stick the
we can
carbonite
put a
and
little
Leona in
bit-
that.
We could put a little bit in the big one with us, just so there's room for him in there. And yeah, we could just get what we can, and then that's it.
Right.
Try to make sure we don't miss any parts of anything, right? If we're gonna
Get a
put something,
complete
get
set.
the- like, okay, this is 3 boxes, and all these crates contain parts for the same Bacta tank. So if we don't have them all together, it's not gonna go. You know.
We have bag A, and A from 3 different back-to-tank construction sets instead of A, B, and C.
Exactly. Let's avoid that.
All right. So where exactly is all this stuff going?
So the heavy cargo is all going in one escape pod that we've stripped out all the survival stuff from, with just enough room left over for Leona to pilot it.
Okay.
The other escape pod will contain the 2 escape pods worth of survival equipment, ourselves, the personal equipment we're carrying and bringing, such as the medical supplies, and the carbonite dude.
So there's not enough room for all of that. The extra survival stuff can all go in like special containers on the escape pod that are designed to hold that stuff. However, the carbonite slab and the repulsor sled carrying it would be too large for all of you to fit in there. You think only about half of you could fit in there if you did that.
Is
Okay.
there a button to, let the
Yeah.
guy out?
That seems a lot lighter.
To let the guy out.
Well, like in the movies, there's like a button on the side of the carbonite slab you push, and Han Solo falls out.
So
Are
on
there
this
light
one,
signs too?
on this one, when you look for that, there's not merely a button. There is a little computer console on the side. It is. Are you accessing it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm-
So you notice a few things. The first thing it gives you is a vital sign readout of the person frozen in carbonite. The technology on this has advanced a little bit since Return of the Jedi, believe it or not.
Okay. Does it show him as being basically alive?
No, he is dead.
Rip.
Well,
There is something else in here as well. Inside this computer has been embedded a very large encrypted data packet, which
Well,
you
we're
cannot
definitely bringing
access.
Can we copy and paste it onto a data slate?
Yes, you would be able to download it onto a datapad.
I say we do that and then scuttle the computer.
I would still say we should release the body, because
Yeah,
if it's
he
a
might have something in
bounty,
his pocket.
oh that too, but also it might be one of those dead or just dead bounties, and they
Wouldn't
didn't
we
want
wanna
the.
keep it in carbonite? That way
Some
we
We
Yeah.
can't fit it in the
Be
pod.
better.
transport method.
Wait a minute though. What if he's like in carbonite because he's like a plague victim?
Good point. Let's not get him out of the carbonite. Let's get the data and skedaddle.
Do we want to blast a computer to make it harder or impossible to retrieve the data for somebody else that were the sole owners of this?
Yes, scrub the computer.
Are you scrubbing the computer with a blaster?
I'm going to try it with software if nobody else is great with computers.
Okay.
Like, download
Well-
the data, scrub it with the software, and then we'll scrub it with the blaster.
Yes, I got the carbine
Yeah,
ready.
we'll be thorough.
Yeah.
I'll give you my heavy blaster for this. It does a little bit more
I
damage.
think
It's
that's
fun
about
to
all the
shoot.
time we have.
I will point out the encryption gives you read authority, which allows you to copy it. It does not give you write authority, which is what you
That's
need
fine.
to delete it.
How did the escape pods leave the ship?
So, if you're actually, let me repost the picture.
Right, they're down in the docking bay, but are they like in tubes, like dedicated launch tubes for each one, or do we just pop the top off like the front of the ship and we go out the front?
Yeah, it's more like a little box that just sort of pops out.
So if we were to leave the carbonite thing, like, you know, between the two escape pods, it would also get sucked out into the void?
No, of course not. The escape pods have a locking system behind them, so that doesn't happen.
Okay. So we don't suck out the contents of the ship when an escape pod is launched.
Yeah, no, the escape pod is designed to be used so that if one group needs to go and then the other group needs to go at a later time, you're not like depressurizing the compartment that you're in.
Okay. I wasn't sure how these work, so that's why I was asking.
Yep.
Alright, yeah, so grab the data, Leona, and then scrub it hard.
Beep, beep, boop. Are there any problems with copy and pasting?
Nope.
All right,
It's
wonderful.
It's big and it takes a minute, but you're able to get the whole thing.
Branks, if you would, and I will help Branks with a hard factory reset to the base mineral components of this computer.
Yeah. At this point, you are now beginning to run low on time. The escape pods have their own oxygen, but they have to be sealed for you to use that.
Yeah,
Well, let's go.
I'll slap on my respirator. It's got some oxygen. Then once the computer is thoroughly slagged, I'll get to my escape pod.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Hey.
have a seat and buckle up.
Yep.
Hey, Anya is going to take a nap and head to bed.
Hopefully on the escape pod.
Yes, on the escape pod.
Very
So you guys take care. To what I missed. Bye bye.
Have a good
See
night.
ya.
Have fun.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys are getting into the escape pods and
Yes.
disembarking.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you both pop out of the ship. You see it rise up behind you, or half of it anyway, and you begin making your way down towards the surface of the planet. Most of you in one escape pod with some supplies that you looted from the ship, and then Leona in the other escape pod with a bunch of heavy medical devices.
You're gonna be
No.
like crushed to death. We're gonna find that other escape pod, and you're gonna be buried under all that bullshit.
Yeah, it's like moving into a new house when you've got like your friggin' hatchback just packed full of all this shit, and you can barely move around in there.
Don't worry, it's medical supplies. It'll heal me if it hits me.
Don't worry, it's medical.
So while we're descending in our pods, I am trying to raise ATC on the comm. Because I have long range comms.
So you can begin doing that, and as you do, you don't. Well, there is no ATC because you're not in the air. However, what you do get is Imperial Customs, and actually, I'll let you start. Go ahead.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is escape pod from Broadback on re-entry on unstable re-entry course. Anyone reading me?
Come in, Broadback Escape Pod. This is Imperial Customs. Please maintain your course. We are coming by to pick you up.
Roger that. Course is maintaining 2 escape pods, people on both.
Roger. Begin to intercept. And then,
Wait,
as
two
you
people on both? What did you ditch?
No,
both of us?
I said people on both.
Ah, okay.
I would have actually given exact counts. 5 souls on ours, 1 soul on the other.
and as you give that information, a ship begins making its way towards your escape pod, which you can see out the window now.
Is that the same ship that killed us?
No,
Okay.
it's an Imperial ship.
So was the other one.
Oh, thank God the Empire's here.
It looks like this.
Hey!
Yep, and as it begins to get closer, both of you feel your escape pods begin to arrest and begin moving towards that ship, as you are apparently pulled in by a tractor beam.
I do attempt to raise the Imperial ship. I've got the long range comms, I might as well.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Confirming good contact on tractor beam. Be
Roger, we had you.
Be advised, our captain was in the rear section of our ship at coordinates blah 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 blah. He may still be alive, but no escape pods in the broken section.
We'll have to look into it. And with that, you guys are brought right in between that sort of fork part in the middle, and the tractor beams gently position each of your escape pods onto separate docking hatches.
If there are windows, I'd like to wave over at the other escape pod.
So the window is on the. Actually, would that make sense? Yeah, the window is on the hatch. So you're both facing away from each other and towards the inside of the ship.
Eh.
And then
And I use force influence to have ticks to mentally wave to Twix. Fuck words. To mentally wave to ticks.
I don't know if that will
Don't
allow
worry
you
about
to do that. Unless you have. Does that give you telepathy? I don't think it does.
I just would like to do it on the way before we fully arrive.
If I win on a discipline versus discipline check, I can make them believe something untrue. So I can make them believe that we wave to each other.
All right.
Unnecessary.
Rather than rolling for it, Tix, do you allow him to make you believe that?
I don't understand what's even happening. I think that's silly.
It is silly.
Okay.
He seems to think that it is silly. That's what the Force tells you. Yeah, so you guys are moved into position, and the hatches open. We'll start with everybody except for Leona. So the hatch opens, and on the other side you see a very sort of stiff upper lip looking Imperial officer with a bunch of not stormtroopers, but the little Navy grunt guys with the uniforms and the hats. I should have gotten a picture of them. Oh well.
What rank is the officer?
Shit, I don't know the lore on that. He's an officer, a customs officer apparently.
Okay. So when he opens the hatch, I look over and say, "Oh well, thank you for picking the sub-customs officer."
It's what we do. Now, if you'd all please step out of the escape pod.
Of course. And I
Yeah, those guys. Thank you. And
I got your back.
They would do the same thing for Leona. Although they're a little bit taken aback when they see all of the stuff that you crammed into the other escape pod.
I was paid to keep the cargo secure. I'm doing that to the best of my ability. That's all the explanation I'll give them as I walk past.
Given the possibility, we had no scanner, so we didn't know if there were any friendly ships in the region, so we had to make preparations for if we crash landed on the planet's surface. That included an ability to get currency.
I see. And could you please state the do you know what it was that malfunctioned with your ship?
Yes, it was rapidly introduced to a lot of shipborne fire. Blasters, I believe.
Missiles.
Some sort of
Missiles, that's what it
incendiary
was.
Devices.
Blasters don't explode when they hit the engines.
How very interesting.
Yes, it was a unfortunate set of circumstances.
Well, out in these parts, it pays to be cautious, as they say.
That it does. Unfortunately, it would appear luck was not with us this time.
Well, you'll have to. Perhaps you'll consider paying more caution next time.
Pete, was that a
Would you like to roll for it?
was that an implication?
Is he attempting to solicit a bribe?
He's telling us to bribe him.
You believe that he is suggesting that the sluggishness with which Imperial Customs responded to your distress beacon may have been a result of the fact that you were not paying the Empire for protection.
So he's not so much soliciting a bribe as informing us that this is what happens if you don't bribe them ahead of time.
Yes, he is gently informing you that that Imperial Customs on this planet is running a protection racket, which is absolutely the kind of thing that happens.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, our captain was not in with it.
Yeah, the captain was a bit too stingy for his own good, if you understand what I mean.
Well, hopefully he won't be stingy anymore.
Well, if he isn't, paying due caution in that part of the ship, he probably isn't paying anything anymore.
Well, such is the price you pay for being cheap. Now, about your salvaged goods.
Cargo.
Obviously, since it is cargo and you are a customs officer, we'll have to declare it and pay the proper duties.
Of course, and normally we don't charge a fee for rescuing stranded persons. However, transporting your goods will require a payment. You think 20% should be fair?
How about 10%?
That's going to be negotiation.
Yep. Difficulty?
This is not difficulty. This is going to be an opposed check.
Okay. I am going to use a light side point on my end.
Yep, so you just roll your half, I will get my half together.
Okay.
And by the end of it, he'll convince us to give him all of it.
No, you don't ever want to stiff the guy.
No, I mean he convinces us to give him all of it.
I don't know, with 4 successes and 4 advantages.
10% per person.
No, you misunderstood. We'll take 10%.
You did succeed, but only barely, so we'll say that he says, call it 15 and we're square.
Deal. And I I don't know, is it a Star Wars thing to shake hands for deals?
Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah, I shake him on it.
Yeah. I didn't decide this earlier, but we'll just say that everything you were able to salvage is like an even... I don't want to be stingy, but I also don't just want to throw you a ton of money right at the beginning. We'll say it's an even one... No, we can do a little bit more than that. It'll be... Actually, yeah, it's like an even 1,000, so 15... Somebody's good at math.
It's 800. We would get 850.
Yes, you would get 850 from this.
Yeah, we should just remember what happened to the last guy who was stingy.
Right, but there's a difference between being stingy and letting them take advantage of you. Always negotiate.
I was making a joke at Pete because he was saying how he doesn't want to be stingy.
Hey, this is the Empire. Imperial Customs is stingy to you. You are not stingy to Imperial Customs.
Exactly.
here at Imperial Customs.
All right. Well, with that business out of the way, and I assume you've, well, you haven't sold it yet, so we'll say that there's like, how much did you say was left? I cannot do math.
850.
850. There is 850 credits worth of value left in that escape pod.
Right.
So with that out of the way, Imperial Customs will deliver all of you guys into the port of DeLang, along with all of your medical equipment, which you are allowed to take with you.
Okay. Do we also get to keep the escape pods, or do they keep those?
They keep those.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to pay to have them docked.
Well, I was just going to give them to a refinery for scrap value.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I'm being
yeah.
nitpicky.
Yeah, all right.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
They have a policy in place to handle this kind of thing, and it's like, unless you can pay to have it housed somewhere, they're just going to take it and sell it.
Okay. Whatever. If that's the policy, I'm not going to fight them on it.
Yeah. Alright, so I already posted the blurb, but you know what the Port of DeLang is like.
Yep.
So yeah, you're actually getting in, like, it's sort of getting towards the evening, the sun is going down. Just one sun here.
Are businesses still open?
Businesses are still open, and in fact, you think this place probably has a pretty active nightlife. You think you could probably find... You might even be able to find a buyer for that medical equipment right now if you wanted to.
That's what I was thinking, is going to, like, you know, a... Because you said it's a trade hub, so there's going to be, like, brokerages and things like that for handling goods.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of that business
You
does
don't
not...
sell the medical equipment, I go with you, because I know how much shit's worth.
Exactly. Good call.
That is very good.
And we'll want the security with us for protection. Because, you know, these guys don't fuck around.
That is not at all out of place. Like, I know you guys are pretty well armed, but you, aside from the Mandalorians, you do not stand out all that much in that regard.
Right. So, because we got, you know, a Toliki politician, a doctor. Neither of us are all that well armed or armored. We got, you know, a hover crate full of medical supplies. And
2 Mandalorians.
Yeah, and then our personal security.
Yeah, like if you guys were on a core world, you would stick out a lot more due to how heavily armed you are and the fact that most of you aren't humans, but out here you fit right in.
Yeah. So yeah, we go to, you know, what looks, you know, I'll use Streetwise to, you know, pick out a brokerage that doesn't look completely shady, but also one that isn't going to ask too many questions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because this stuff probably
Goldilocks zone.
Well, it's like these things probably have serial numbers, so they're not stolen goods, but they aren't exactly above board either.
Well, so these, you're not. Actually, that's a good question. They haven't been sold already. It's not like a pre-sale and you were just delivering it. They were intended to be sold on Nar Shaddaa when you got there.
Oh, so we did actually own them free and clear.
Yes, it's not like you're a delivery service. You're a merchant.
Captain is a peddler, not a delivery service.
Right. I was thinking more like, you know, cargo. Like, you know, we had a contract to carriage where we were delivering this from point A to point B for a fee.
So it actually did have a set destination, but it was not already paid for.
Right. In that case, that if it's not paid for, then we actually don't. Under current Earth rules, that basically means we can stop and sell it elsewhere.
Yes, you can sell it elsewhere, and you will not get in trouble for doing that. It just means that whatever deal the captain who's dead now might have had with those people is off.
Well, it probably died with him anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then I do look for a legitimate brokerage. We don't need it to be shady at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're able to find a legitimate brokerage. It's like a sort of big electronics and appliances warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's a we'll say as a human, sort of a gangly fellow, a lot of hair. You know, like the kind of guy who runs sells a washer and dryer store. Or runs a washer and dryer store. I don't know.
Can I help I have a point in Streetwise.
Yes, however, I believe your medical expertise would also assist him in selling this stuff. Did you already? Oh yeah, you rolled. No,
My
I rolled.
medical expertise is a yellow.
I haven't rolled anything
three
yet. You didn't
green.
call for a roll.
Yes. Yeah. So
Unless it's one of my knowledge scores, like, yeah.
no. So we'll say that. Well, you're definitely able to find somebody who's willing to buy them. The question is how much he's willing to buy them for. And actually, I need to look that up because there's rules on that. So let's see. It's $850 worth of value. And where is it? Let's see here. Okay, and let's see. There's a chart I gotta consult for this. Come on, where is it? Okay, so we will say that this stuff is only rarity 2 because it's just like sort of wholesaler type goods.
Mhm.
However, because of where you are, this economy has a +1 rarity modifier. So it would be a difficulty 3 check, and your degree of success will determine how much you're able to sell it for.
Okay, and I'm getting a boost die from the doctor helping me?
Yes,
All right. I'll also use a destiny point on it.
sure.
Jesus. Shall help you.
Actually, in fact, I think you could probably get more than that from him helping you, so don't roll it yet.
Okay. Well, so he's a doctor in some other stuff, so 2 boost dies? Or
How many ranks do you have in medicine, Tenorak?
I have medicine. I have 1 rank in medicine. I have an orange, a yellow die, and 3 green.
And 3 green. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's not gonna doing it that way isn't gonna help you then. We'll say you get 2 boost die.
Cool, 2 boost die.
Okay, and then you have to roll the negative part of the check, which is going to be 3 purple.
oh, sorry.
That is all right. Okay, so that is 1 success and 5 advantage.
Okay, in like with the 5 advantage, that's a lot of advantages.
It is a lot of advantage, so I'm not going to do this exactly exactly the way the game recommends. So normally one net success, which is what you have, would only allow you to sell it for a quarter of the price. However, I'm going to say that because you have a medical doctor helping you on this, you would be able to spend all of that advantage to sell it for 3/4.
Okay.
So that's 3/4 of 850. Yeah, you do
637.
637.
Okay, sure. I'll sell to him for that.
Yep, you get 637 credits.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's good.
Yep.
All right. Well, it is nighttime now.
We should probably find a place to spend the night.
Yep, you sure can. And if you consult the lifestyles section of the handbook, you can do that. Let's see. So I will leave it up to you what standard of living you would like. All are available, although some of them would probably, like, you're not buying a house in one hour.
2 of us are upper crust aristocrat. So, yeah,
Well,
we're getting-
also given my given my mental background thing,
Mm.
so what is like, an extravagant night here?
An extravagant night would be. So this place does not have what you might call like a fancy hotel the way we have here on Earth. The way you would stay somewhere for the night extravagantly is by like doing it in like a lavish like a room at a casino.
Right, so I get like a room in a casino, I get a couple prostitutes, a buffet, that type of thing.
Yeah, sure.
All right, and that's what, 25 credits?
Yeah, that's well, the prostitutes cost extra, but the room is 25 credits.
How much do the prostitutes
I'll,
cost?
I'll probably take the best room.
Like another 25.
Okay. Yeah,
These are-
I end up blowing 50 credits.
These are nice prostitutes. If you want cheaper prostitutes, you can find those, but you might have trouble getting them in.
Nah, the nice ones at the hotel are fine.
Yep.
At the casino.
Now, for the rest of you who are not bougie, the cheapest thing above living on the street is 5 credits, which gets you like they have like dormitories for ship's crews to just like stay in temporarily. 5 credits a night will get you one of those.
Wait, just to be clear. Okay. Alright. What's the one right above that?
10 credits, that would be something a little nicer. That's like that'd be like a proper hotel for people who aren't just like spacers. This would be like the kind of hotel that a mid-level merchant might stay in. Not like a really rich merchant. That's what Dipati's doing.
Leona, should we get one of those? That way it reduces the likelihood of someone trying to nut up and steal our armor.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff I don't want stolen. And I'd rather not waste the ammo on the people around here.
Hmm.
I don't own much. I will go with cheap lodgings.
Yeah, the cheap lodging is like... You remember that room that you all crammed into on Coruscant? It's a bit like that.
So, did we split the 637 credits?
I will leave that up to you.
Well, no one asked me for any credits. I have
didn't
no
ask for
problems.
any. I had some of my own that I purchased my room with, and I went straight into it.
To keep it easy, yeah, everyone gets 100 credits from that.
Okay.
Under's too nice to play his character by monopolizing the party funds.
Keeping
No,
them happy keeps me protected.
Ah, there you go. He's smart.
I mean, they are our security force. pretty
And
much.
this, like 37 that doesn't divide out nicely, he can keep.
I try to pick the cheapest place that's still, close enough to keep an eye out. Like just down the road from wherever the fuck he's living the life.
Hmm.
So just to be clear, how much do we each get?
100 credits. From
how
the
much
sale of the
is the
medical
lavish-
supplies.
Ideally, somewhere that it's a shithole, but there's roof access if I need it.
Roof access.
How much are the rooms for lavish?
The lavish ones?
Minus soldiers? Yeah. 25?
The casino room was
Yeah.
25 a night.
Yeah, if you want the most expensive one, that's 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, my character's a hedonist. He isn't greedy. He'll happily share the profits of selling the medical supplies with everyone.
My guy is not a hedonist. He just likes to stay at the best places.
Just appreciates the finer things in life.
Yes, he is an upper crust doctor from one of the core systems. Being here absolutely physically repulses him.
Yeah, I mean, before this, you were sleeping in like cramped quarters on a container ship. If you're going to have the opportunity, you may as well.
I know, right?
All right. Yeah. So you all find your accommodations for the night, and with the Mandalorians staying somewhere a little nicer, we'll say the night passes without incident.
Okay. Before we get to that, there is one thing we skipped over. I just realized. At the end of the encounter,
This is the second time I forgot to do that.
yeah, we can do a discipline or cool check to recover strain.
Except it doesn't matter because you just finished a night's rest, which removes all of your strain.
Okay, I wasn't sure if long rest worked that way.
Yep. So all strain that you have goes away at the end of a long rest. He's correct, which is that I forgot to let you roll to heal strain after the combat encounter. Although we never really went into initiative anyway. So, but it was a combat encounter, and I should have let you do that. In fact, here.
No, it's fine. It didn't end up mattering. If I thought it would have mattered, I would have made sure to bring it up earlier.
It didn't matter, but I want to give you a destiny point. Oh, that's not how you do that.
Just as a point of reference, if we take a night's rest, does it also heal all of our wounds?
It heals one wound.
Oh, okay.
Healing you have to pay for. Of course,
Good
you
enough.
also have a guy who
Wait,
can
is
heal.
somebody injured? A couple of feedbacks I can give you.
He has actually here. Let me read the thing, because I believe you have access to many ways that you can heal people.
Yeah, I got
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
I got med packs, stem packs, ration packs. Yeah, all kinds of things.
So yeah, let me see what can you get here. It's
And anytime I make a medicine check to help somebody heal a wound, they heal one additional.
Yep. So I just gotta navigate to where that is because I forget exactly how it works.
I am a skilled surgeon.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so how many? I think it's only Leona who's injured, right?
Yeah.
How many wounds exactly do you have, and what's your wound threshold?
I'm at, before the rest, 6 out of 12.
Okay. So because you're only at half, that means it is an easy medicine check. And here, let's see here. Successful checks. Target recovers a number of wounds equal to the number of successes generated by the medicine roll, and strain by advantages. And you get extra because of your thing. And character may attempt only one medicine check per week when helping a character to recover from critical wounds. That's only for critical injuries, though, and you don't have one. Only has a single wound up to the maximum.
All right, what is the difficulty? I have 1 yellow and 3 green.
The difficulty is just 1.
So it's P. So it's 2.
It's
So I go yellow, PG.
it's just P, and you're using your med kit, right? Your non-emergency
Yes.
med kit, like your full med kit. That gives you a boost.
Yes, that full med kit. That gives me a bonus die. So it's
Yep.
The helmet stays on during life-threatening surgery.
Is that right? Though I think I
You
put
need the $ instead of the exclamation.
But otherwise, it's right.
And now we wait. Ooh,
He's Dr. House in this shit.
Yeah, he's Dr. House in this shit. Okay, so 3 successes plus your 2 heals 5. The 2 advantage would also heal strain, but that's about to not matter anyway. And with that triumph, I will say that. So normally you're only allowed to attempt to heal somebody like. It says once per week. I'm going to change that to be like once per encounter. So like if you get injured again after this, you would be able to be healed again. But we'll say, let's see, how should I use that? We'll say that, like, the next time you heal someone, instead of only being able to heal them once per encounter, you can heal them twice. So, like, that's a unique thing, Mister. So keep track of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would heal 5 out of your 6, and then the full night's rest would heal the 6th. So you're back to full, which is to say back to 0.
All right.
Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything with the med kit. Okay, yeah, so we're good on that. And yeah, so morning comes. It is it's a new day in the port of Delang. People are out crying their wares and doing all sorts of other awful shit that they do in the port of Delang. What do you do?
I acquire a poncho with a hood.
All right.
I meet the guys for breakfast.
Yep, you can do that. The cost of breakfast would be included in your lifestyle. We'll say that if you pay for lodgings tonight, the cost of your breakfast will be, actually no, fuck that. It's rolled into last night's cost.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Gotta get that continental breakfast.
Yeah, the cost is meant to be once per day, so we'll say that this still counts towards yesterday.
Fried Nerf.
Yes, fried Nerf.
I can't be.
Wait. Do you not know what Nerf is?
No. Unless you're
it's
talking
great.
about foam darts.
You can't beat Nerf. You know what they say, it's Nerf or nothing.
No, that's not what Nerf is.
It's like eating bantha.
No, it's a thing that you heard when you're a scruffy-looking Nerf herder.
Yeah, it's if you have fried Nerf, it's probably a lot like a fried steak.
Mm-hmm. Nerf is basically like Star Wars cow.
Ah, okay.
Mixed with like giant ass sheep.
Like a water buffalo.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a
Well,
water
those things.
buffalo.
All right, yeah. So you all get breakfast and a poncho, which the poncho only makes you cooler, so we'll ignore that. You don't get any mechanical benefit from the poncho.
There's no mechanical benefit, just pure aesthetic.
Being cool is free.
Right. So, I think even if we were to pool our money, we probably could not buy a ship.
No.
Definitely not.
Maybe passage off-world, but probably not all the way to Narshada. But we don't have a particular reason to go there anymore.
Yeah, we already sold the cargo. So
You think if you were going to put down a down payment on like the smallest ship that could carry all of you, you would need about 25,000 credits.
Okay.
yeah.
We could consider
that's a down
booking
payment. You would also be
passage on
going into
another
debt.
ship.
To go where?
We could, yeah, which we need to decide
Wherever
which
we
one.
want. I mean, we got on that ship agreeing to do, like an honest day's. I
And
use
you know,
air quotes,
over
an
the
honest
galaxy
day's
is-
work in exchange for transit.
I do want to know what's on the data slate that we couldn't encrypt. But
That's what I was thinking.
I wouldn't trust that with anybody on this planet.
Food and carbonite.
Well, regardless on what we choose to do, we're going to need a source of credits.
Now, are y'all both the Mandalorians that never remove your helmet in public? Or are y'all the ones that take them off? I'm asking out of character. That I want to know.
Brinks keeps the helmet on like 90% of the time. The only times he doesn't have it on is when he's like taking a poop or eating food.
Okay.
So if we're talking over breakfast, then his helmet's off, but that's about it.
I keep it on out of habit, not out of some like honor code or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not pulling the tribe here.
Okay.
In the Mandalorian's typical lines of work, getting shot in the head is a fairly regular hazard. It's better to have something than to have nothing there.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, that one Mandalorian, his helmet didn't help him for shit.
Yeah, that's a him problem. Cheaped out on the helmet.
Yeah, I was just wondering why we were sitting here if y'all were in with y'all helmets on or not.
Well, I'm sure any salvage teams that are going out to look at the ship are going to need, or at least want, some security. Paying for protection seems to be a running theme around here.
Yes, well.
Won't they have questions about where some of the missing stuff is?
Yeah, I feel like we would want to not be nearby when that
Yeah.
question gets asked.
We don't have it. We don't know where it is.
Well,
It's not a lie.
without the car, no reason to go to Nashita. So, is there any place else anyone wants to go if we can get off this rock?
I would point out the shipment of medical supplies that you found that person frozen in carbonite in was also bound for Nar Shaddaa. And because you downloaded the ship's manifest, you have the specific address on Nar Shaddaa that was bound for.
Well, I mean, we figure out what the hell was going on there.
Well, that means that the
Is it-
data itself might have been part of the cargo and might have some value to the buyer on Nar Shaddaa.
Yes. In addition to the destination, it also contains information on where it was picked up.
Also, this place smells, so us not being here would be pretty good.
Yeah. Where was it picked up from?
Here, this is the full entry in the manifest. You received it on the world of Spirana, which is a minor stopover on the Corellian Run, back the way you came.
Intergen Security Resources. What do we know about them?
That's no company you've ever heard of.
What was the name of it?
It's in chat.
Is there a planetary information network, like a HoloNet?
To look that up?
Yeah.
I mean, so there isn't like a galaxy-wide information network. There is interplanetary communication, but it's expensive. As for... But yes, there is a HoloNet, and given that this is a trade hub, you think you might be able to find some info on that.
We might be able to find passage on the ship.
We might be able to look up Intergen, but whatever we look up is probably going to be logged and looked into later by other people if it
Then let's not.
raises any questions.
Yeah, if we just go there and put guns in people's faces, it'll probably be a lot easier, to be honest. Anyway, it's Nar Shaddaa. They'll be used to it.
Yes.
That's how you say hi there.
Well, then we might want to look at the ships scheduled to leave and see if any of them are heading to Nar Shaddaa.
All right.
We'll have to go to wherever the information.
You know, I know there was a ship heading here that would have been heading to Nar Shaddaa. It's a shame. I don't think they arrived.
Yeah, for some reason it blew up.
Yeah, we've not in one piece. All right, so is that what you're all doing?
Sounds
Yeah, that
reasonable
sounds
to
like
me.
what we're
So-
doing. Get information.
Yeah, so you guys all head over to the spaceport to start looking into ships that are departing for Nar Shaddaa soon. And as you do that, you're looking around, and you know that there are ships headed that way. However, you also notice something else, which is that a small sort of, well, should I say large or small? A significant crowd has formed around a hollow board off to one side, outside the entrance to a somewhat seedy-looking cantina. They seem to be looking at some kind of public posting.
I go over there and take a look.
Yep. Yeah, you're able to sort of shoulder your way through the press, and now that you can get a good look at it, you see that it is in fact a bounty board, and front and center is a hologram of a Ordolan man with an eye patch. His name listed as Banu Lampa for a bounty of 30,000 credits, dead or alive.
Sounds like enough for a down payment on a ship.
I know I said it smells bad here, but does anybody else smell credits?
I smell credits.
This could be a very simple task. We could do this, get us a ship, and be gone.
Who pays the bounty?
It's unclear. There is a comlink number that you can call. This appears to be a anonymous bounty.
Right.
Payable by a private third party.
Was this bounty put up recently, or has it been here a while? Is there any way to check the date it was posted?
It appears to have been posted today.
How do you spell Ordolan?
Ortolan.
Are there any facts given about the suspect?
Aside from that he's an Ordolan and that he's short and has an eye patch and is known to frequent the port of Delang, no.
If this guy's Ordolan, I imagine he's responsible for that group that just raided us.
He was on the ship.
Yeah.
I saw him.
So not all of you got a look at him, but he did.
His single eye met mine.
Oh, so you know.
I'm surprised he kept it.
Yeah.
Well, I can only fire one bullet at a time.
Fair enough. Hey, isn't there like a ship log by, at the dock? We could, take a look at all the, see all the ships coming into dock. We saw his ship. We should be able to identify it if it's here, even if they've changed the name.
You did see his ship. You can look around for a. I didn't actually tell you what kind it is. Let me look here.
It was like a vertical, like Cardassian warship with a box on the back.
Hey, if we kill them, we could take their ship, and then with the 30,000 credits, we wouldn't have to spend on a ship.
We did put some holes in that ship, though. So it is likely they needed to dry dock.
Probably here to get repaired.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, the model of ship you were looking for is a YV-865 Aurora transport.
Aha. And are any of them currently in, the repair bays, having taken some damage?
Not that you can find.
Any of them docked at all?
No.
Huh. Is this the only spaceport on the planet?
This is the only spaceport on this planet. You don't know of anywhere else that you would go to dock a ship here.
Right, but that doesn't mean there isn't like a pirate spaceport somewhere.
We
on a moon or something.
Could call the comlink number, see how they know this guy and what they want the bounty for.
Sure. I call the comlink number.
Alright, you call the comlink number. You get the voice of what appears to be a droid on the other end. It says, Shit, what would it say? It picks up and it just says, "Do you have the bounty?"
Not yet. Requesting information.
When you request information, it regurgitates verbatim the appearance and the fact
ad.
that he frequents the. It regurgitates the ad that you saw,
Okay, and then it just like hangs up on me, I'm guessing.
and then it hangs up on you.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that's unless we want to try to lie and say we have the bounty when we don't, which would probably be a bad idea. We don't get any extra information out of it, guys.
Well, how well dressed was that pirate when I saw him?
He was a little more well dressed than the captain. He had good fashion for a pirate.
What I want to know is, would he be able to show his face in an upper end establishment, or should we start looking in some seedier places?
Given that he has a very distinct appearance and is currently a wanted man,
Right, but I
that
mean
we
in
would-
general, not today.
Probably not in general.
Oh, I know. You know, I've always wanted to play cards with an infamous pirate. I wonder if the hotel concierge could set that up.
That sounds like you have a plan.
Yes, I play a game of cards with an infamous pirate, a certain infamous pirate, and that means that we will have a known location at a known time.
Works for me.
That's good.
Clever.
Well, with the formation of that ingenious plan, I think I'm going to have to call it here.
Okay.
I have more prepared, but you've done enough stuff different from what I expected that I'll have to do more preparing.
Oh, I'm curious. What were you expecting us to do?
There were a couple things. The information I gave you about the shipment that you found, I was not planning on giving to you until much later. But because you looked in there, I was like, you know what? I'll just hand it to them now.
And because the ship was also fucked.
And because the ship was fucked, although that was part of the plan.
How
This is-
unlikely would it have been to actually shoot that ship down before it separated our engineering from our helm?
It was meant to be very hard. Now, you shooting that ship was not getting you nothing. The amount of damage you dealt to that ship meant that there were only 8 instead of 12 ordnance.
You know, guys, here's an idea. Wanted man. One of the potential heirs